and beer. If you do, you're going to love today's guest. His name's Brian. Make sure you subscribe to catch the whole video. We love you guys, and we'll see you in a moment. All right, what's up, everybody? We're back here now. I'm here with my man, Brian Scanlon. Hey, my man, thank you for coming.
Good to be here.
Trying to get you on the show for a little while. Yeah, appreciate you coming out. How you doing?
Yeah, all right.
Good, yeah. So you made the trek out from Xindian.
Yeah. I thought I left plenty of time, but you know.
Yeah, Xindian is tough, man.
It's a distance.
I remember the first few years here. I used to go out to Xindian for the dragon boats and stuff like that. That was it's good, man.
Yeah, still
dragon
going
boat's still rocking, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I love those. I got to take those out to take my daughter out to the dragon boat one of these days. That's a weekend, and then you just get slammed in the restaurant.
Come down.
But we got to do it. We'll go down and get some beer,
get some pizza.
Yes.
We're right there.
Speaking of beer and pizza, we have a special brew that was made for the show today. We're going to drink it all probably tonight, I would imagine.
Yeah.
So maybe you could tell us a little bit about that brew before we start the show, before we sip it.
Yeah, this is by far my favorite style.
Okay.
Brew. It's imperial stout.
Okay, beautiful. Well,
so this one I trick it out a little bit with some rye, oatmeal.
Okay.
Yeah, I try to get as much good malt in there as I can.
Nice, delicious.
And then at the very end, I added a couple of vanilla beans.
Okay. Ooh, beautiful.
Right to the keg.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this one is not on the menu, right?
Not on the menu.
Not on the menu.
For sale.
Special.
It's a prototype.
Little prototype. Do you think eventually you might get a little stout going? Yeah. Stouts are delicious. I love them. They definitely sell a little bit slower than the other ones, but they're my favorite by far. So I want to get a mouthful of this before we start, man.
Cheers, man.
Cheers. Thank you for coming out.
Yep.
Salud. Yeah. Oh, it's delicious.
Yeah, it's all right.
Oh, it's nice. Yeah, I like that, man. Boom. Well, before we start, why don't you tell people about yourself?
Well, I've been in Taiwan for, I guess, almost exactly 8 years.
Okay.
October in 2012 when I arrived.
Oh, really? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So, I came out here originally for a vacation.
Okay.
And like probably many people.
Yeah, like probably many of us.
Just felt this kind of magnetic pull, and I gave into it.
Okay.
And I'm really glad I did.
Yeah, and so that was 8 years ago or so, right? Because my daughter was born in 2012, so I'll remember it now pretty easily. Yeah, That's good. Yeah, I don't remember many things, but I remember 2012. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right on. So that was what was the original reason to come out here?
Actually, I had a friend out here who was teaching, and her brothers and I and a couple other buddies, we made a big trip out.
Okay.
And
it was just like a couple weeks or a
Mary.
month originally.
Yeah, we just came out for, I think it was even 12 days.
Beautiful. Okay.
We got around the
whole
east coast of the island.
Okay.
And I don't know at what point was my fate was sealed, but at some point
it happens, man. It's a common story all the time, man. It happens a lot. I love it. Let's grab the first wing and we keep going, So we just start round one is super basic. We're just gonna do some. The first one's just a basic buffalo. So
okay,
you can do. So we start on this side. You can go drum. You can go wing. Whatever you like. It's on you. You're the guest, man. You're the man.
All right, I'll go wing.
Go for it. I'll take that guy then. Yeah. Let's do it.
All right, so what do you call this sauce?
This is just a basic buffalo, man. We call it the better buffalo because we tweak it a little bit, but it's just the super basic buffalo.
Yeah, nice.
One of our better sellers, actually.
Yeah. You can't really beat it.
Yeah. I was getting hungry too.
Yeah, me too.
So traffic from Xindian?
I left my house at 5:30. I thought, hey man, this will be plenty of time. I'll get up there around 6:30.
It probably took like from Tianmu to here like 25 minutes.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the
worst.
worst.
The last 3K.
It's the worst. Yeah, it's
Google
the worst.
had me scared. They're like, "Oh, you're gonna be late."
It's crazy, man.
Got here on time, anyways. But yeah, it was a trip. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, I got this. This is fun.
Problem.
Yeah, that last 3K just.
I have a buddy that comes by and we'll go and do like lunches and stuff, and he comes from Linko, right? Mm-hmm. So he's just like zipping over, no problem. And as soon as he hits like that bridge in front of the Sogo.
Yep.
He says it's like 20, 25 minutes just from there. I mean, you could probably walk that in 25 minutes, you know?
I was pretty happy to finally get a car this year, actually.
Okay.
Mostly for hauling kegs. But
Okay.
yeah, I haven't really made it out to the beach or done anything fun with it.
That's the only reason I would ever want a car is for beach, yeah. I mean, once in a while we'll go out to the beach. By the MRT over there, there's a little car rental place. So we'll just rent a car for the day and then we'll go to the beach.
Make a mission out of it.
My wife is always like, you know, if you guys, maybe we should get a car. But I'm like, but if I get a car, there's no, first of all, Tianmu, there's no parking. And if you rent a spot, it's like $6,000 a month. So, I mean, to get a car that
it's like a
is
rental,
worth it.
A house rental, rather.
You know, yeah, it's like for it to be worth it, to put a car in that spot, it's got to be a decent car. Then you got to worry about your nice car getting all scratched up. And I'm like, no, let's just rent a car. I don't want to do it. I'm like, I'm happy with Uber. I'm happy with all that stuff.
Well, cheers, man.
Cheers, man. Sorry, the bell is when someone's at the door. And I
yeah,
can't be
still
like,
man in the post. Yeah,
I can't be like,
right on.
Yeah. Very nice, man.
Yeah, so this one clocks in at almost 9%.
Holy,
I don't think it tastes like
it does not taste like a
strong.
9% for
Pretty
sure.
silky, it's good.
It's
a bit young.
Yeah.
If I had my way, I'd probably let it sit for another 2 weeks or so.
Okay.
To really have it mellow out, but it's I kind of like it where it bites back a little bit.
Honestly, it's good. I mean, I was just introducing you to a buddy of mine, Jim, and there was one time I was here I had like 1 or 2 Coronas with a customer, and a friend of mine, he wanted to go out for some drinks, and I'm like, well, we're closing it up, so let's go up to Wolfpack, right? So we went over to Wolfpack, and I saw some like bourbon barrel aged imperial stout from Jim. Right? I went up there and I love that stuff. So I walked in like, oh, you're gonna love this. So I got it. And I don't get I got a big ass pint of it, right? So I had one, and it was strong for sure, but it was delicious. So I'm like, having it. I downed one pretty quick. The second one, about halfway through the second one, it's like boom, like a slap in the face. I'm like, oh my god, what? This is strong. So I messaged Jim. I'm like,
hey man,
I'm like, what's going on with this beer? And he's just like, yeah, it's. He told me about it. And he's like, wait, are you drinking? I'm like, yeah, I took a picture of him. I'm drinking it. And he's like, how many did you have? I'm like, I had 2 like full pints. He's like, dude, that's 12.9%. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, that's an
Things make sense now. Okay, for sure. So your favorite style?
Yeah. I mean, it started out, my wife, she wasn't a big beer drinker when we met, but her favorite beer was Guinness at that time. So I said, all right, let's see. I think I can do you one better.
You can do that? Yeah,
and,
no. Actually, Guinness for me. Go ahead. Talk about the Guinness. Yeah.
Well, yeah. To me, it's a pretty light, simple stout. It doesn't have a lot going on. It's good.
Yeah.
I enjoy it.
Yeah.
But so the first one I brewed for her, and it came out really nice. It's probably the first time where I had an idea in mind and brewed it, and it actually came out.
And it worked.
Pretty close to what I had thought.
Okay.
So yeah.
So she liked it?
She liked it. She was surprised at how good it was at that time.
She's like, this is better than Guinness.
Yeah, she's like, oh. Yeah, so, this one's...
I actually, I'm a dark beer guy as well. And I like Guinness. I used to really like Guinness. And then I started, all these little breweries, the local craft beer brewers, they started to pop up. And then people started doing like porters and then stouts and then imperial stouts, and I loved it. I just kind of kept going, diving deeper in the rabbit hole, and I was just like drinking it and eating it. I was like, this is great. And then I went back to have a Guinness, and I was like, what? This is way different than I remember, right?
Almost like water, maybe.
It's pretty flat. It's pretty light. I mean, on the bucket list,
light.
Yeah, it's very light,
people
right?
Say, oh, it's so heavy.
So heavy. I feel it's super light.
That's a light beer.
I also think. Still on the bucket list. I'd love to go to Ireland and have a Guinness hand poured for sure. But Guinness is good stuff. I'd like to go check it out from the brewery.
Yeah, let's go, man.
Yeah, let's go. I love this stuff. All right, he's ready to rock. Mission. All right.
Yeah.
I guess you're not driving back, huh?
Well, my lovely wife will help me out with
How's
that.
Mark doing?
He's all right.
Yeah. Oh my God,
He'll probably make an appearance later.
Yeah. All right. I was looking so hard for a picture.
Oh, there's so many. I don't post pictures.
Okay.
Yeah, well, if we have a break or whatever, oh man, my phone's just loaded with them.
It's funny because everybody who gets a little dog, they name him like Fluffy or Blackie or Foo or whatever, and then you brought your little dog in, and they're like, "Hey, this is my dog." I'm like, "Oh, what's his name?" And he's like, Mark. And I'm like, "What?"
Yeah,
Mark. Yeah, I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah.
So what's the story behind the Mark, man?
Well, he's got a rags to riches story.
Okay, let's have it, man.
We live up in the mountain in a place called Huayuan Xindian.
Yeah,
it's kind of on the way to Wulai. And it's unfortunately a place where a lot of people just sort of dump
the dogs. Okay.
So there's packs running around, and you've seen my dog. We'll get a picture up later, maybe.
He's awesome, man.
He's about the size of a large rat or something. He's basically prey for anything.
Yeah, exactly. It's crazy to see. Yeah, usually the little dogs don't get abandoned.
Yeah,
it's all right.
Yeah, someone had stuck him in a chicken cage and just left him outside.
Okay. Really?
And
in a chicken?
Yeah.
And he's so tiny, he fits in a chicken cage. Okay.
And so by the time we got him, he had like no fur. He was completely malnourished. It was a very sad scene.
Crazy, man. Oh my gosh.
And it took probably almost a year to give him like fully rehabilitated.
Really? How is he personality wise?
Oh man, he's the best. I don't know what. Yeah, I don't know how anybody can do that, because he doesn't bark. He doesn't. He's not a yappy small dog. He totally blew up my idea about
a small dog,
dogs.
right? Small dogs, they can be good. I wasn't a fan, and before I went to college, my mom got a little small white Bichon, right, and he was fantastic. Yeah, I love it.
We figured out he's a Maltese-shon. So
okay.
A Bichon and a Maltese mixed. Because we were trying to figure it out. We're like,
it's hard.
He's not a Maltese, because when we see him next to a Maltese, like, nah, that's not right.
Yeah.
And then a poodle, like, nah, that's not right. And so we're Googling it, and then, there it is.
Beautiful. Maltese-shon. It's crazy, because usually little dogs are, I hate to say it, but usually they're yappy, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes we have customers that they want to bring their dogs, and we're like, yeah, cool. But I have to be like, is your dog, is he going to be cool?
Yeah,
is he going to try to bite the waitress?
Is he going to bite? Is he
going to bark at every kid that walks by? Is he going to snap at people that touch him? And they're just like, no. And most of them, they still try. They're still yapping and they're barking, and it's like, what are we doing? Come on, man.
Yeah,
I asked you.
He doesn't. He wants nothing to do with dogs like that. He's like, nah.
He's just like, I'm done with that.
Yeah.
Dude. Yeah, I love it. So shout out to Mark. Let's grab the next one, man. Right. Next one is Chipotle.
Oh, nice.
So round one is pretty chill. Grab whatever you want,
man. I'm curious actually how these different sauces will pair.
Yeah.
Something my buddy Andreas has got me into.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. He's a big pairing
beer.
guy.
I kind of was a skeptic at the beginning, and then he sat me down and we got to try some stuff, and it kind of.
I think the stuff is pairable. I think you have to like beer and know beer. This is my opinion, because I love beer and I like beer and stuff like that. But I'll do like people do the same with wine.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm not a huge wine guy, so every time I try, people are like, "Oh, try all these wines, blah blah blah." I can taste the difference, but it's not that much different, right? You know what I mean? Like, do you know what I mean? For me, I don't really know that much. You can taste a good and a bad one, fruity or dry, whatever. Okay, but like super different. I wasn't really raised on it, so I don't know that much about it. Yeah. But beer, I agree for sure.
Yeah, I think the thing that's interesting now that I'm learning about beer is it can actually pair with a wider variety, because there's a wider variety of beers.
Sure.
Think about Thai food or Chipotle, these kind of very strong flavors.
Yeah.
You're going to probably have an impossible time finding a wine that would go with with a Chipotle or something.
Maybe,
But I bet.
Let's try it.
Yeah, I'm curious.
You want the drum or the wing?
I'll mix it up. I'll go for the drum.
Whatever you want, dude. Grab whatever you need. Yeah. Round one's chill. It's not so spicy yet.
Oh, I'm ready, man. I'm ready. I was raised. My mom probably killed my taste buds long ago as a baby. So
that's great.
We'll see, but we'll see. There's always that point, I don't say that to be macho. It's more like I actually really enjoy spicy.
Well, I'm
food.
Mexican, and like the last couple that we're gonna do. I'm not putting those.
So you do them all?
Yeah, I do them all. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So I'll follow you then. No problem.
But I don't. I'm not. The last couple, they're pretty spicy, so doing them. But it's not like Saturday night. I'm like, hey, I'm craving.
Yeah.
Let me destroy my stomach lining. Yeah.
That's really good.
It's not bad, right?
Yeah. Let's see how the stout.
So Yeah. That's right.
I'm pretty curious about this one.
Do it. There are such things as like Chipotle stouts, right? I've had a couple of those before.
I thought about doing a spicy stout, but haven't ever done anything.
I would
with that
start
before,
probably with a more basic one.
Yeah.
I mean, for us, we have. I've tried all the stouts in the restaurant because
that's nice.
It's pretty good. I thought it was good. Yeah,
it goes good with the
flavor. Yeah. Yes, exactly. Right. Like I've had spicy beers here. And they're tough. They're a tough move.
Yeah.
They're a tough move because, you know, when you have some spicy food or some heavy food, you want to have your swig of your beer. But if your beer is even spicier than the food, it's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, that would have been a terrible idea for tonight, I guess.
Yeah. Well, we could have done that, but it would have been interesting.
Spicy on spicy.
Maybe some good video clips for sure. Yeah. So the original Tilted Shack Brewing, how old is Tilted Shack? Let's talk a little bit about Tilted Shack.
The company officially is only less than a year old.
Okay.
So we just established this year.
And what inspired Tilted Shack to start?
So my partner and good friend Jay.
Yeah. Shout out to Jay.
Yeah, shout out to Jay. He opened the Shack Pizza.
Okay.
And that was way out on the road. We're out in our end of town, out on Beilu. And it was literally a shack that was like tilting off the side of the.
Was it really? Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
Awesome.
So. I drove by it every day for probably a solid 6 months after he opened and just didn't stop because a ways up the mountain I'd been burned by like one of the worst pizzas in my life. So I kind of had just like given up on finding a pizza around there. Mm-hmm. But then I overheard one night in the city somebody's
like, dude, have you tried the Shack?
Yeah. And so, all right. Well, probably the next time I drove by, I was like, all right, well.
Recommendations are strong, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it might have been the first time I ate the pizza there. Like, wow, this is really good.
Okay.
Like, shockingly good. And then I think it might have been that same night that I just straight up asked him, like, I saw he had a pretty big basement.
Okay.
Like, hey, you want to make beer to go with this?
Let's do some beer, yeah.
You want to brew some beer to go with this pizza? And he said, yeah, sure, let's do it. That was it. That was probably like...
The rest is history.
That might be 6 years ago.
Okay.
So it's been
a long time. So you guys immediately, I guess, was it a piece-by-piece setup? Or did you guys just dump in the money and like, I got everything here, all the equipment? Well, how does it work? What's the process here?
Yeah, so that goes back further than how I got into brewing in the first place.
Okay.
How that was like, becoming a scheme I was working on.
Sure. Okay.
Which is, I guess it was about 6 years ago.
Okay.
And it made a kind of random trip to the Philippines.
Okay. Yeah.
Sounds good. Over break, short trip, and ended up missing the flight, a connection flight there to where I was gonna go, and looking at.
You guys are not paying, right? He knows, right? Okay.
Looking at alternatives. All right, we're at the airport. We missed our flight. We're like, all right, well, we're gonna go to Palawan.
Okay.
Very famous.
Okay.
Alnido, very famous place. Missed the flight, so all right, well, let's look at alternative places to go.
Okay.
And just kind of randomly picked a place called Dumaguete, which was easy to get to.
Okay.
And we went there and ended up on a beautiful beach.
Okay.
And the first night there, we were asking what's going on, and there's a big music festival.
Oh, beautiful. Okay.
And it was amazing. It's called Malasimbo. And I don't know if you ever heard of Jimmy Cliff. He's an old reggae
guy. No, I don't know.
He did some famous songs like.
If I hear the song, maybe I'll know him. Yeah. Bust out some song, man.
Yeah, Many Rivers. What is it? Many Rivers to Cross.
Okay, I don't.
Anyways, he did.
Maybe if I hear the beat,
you'll recognize. He
probably
had a few hits.
I'm bad with names, good with faces, man.
But that album, I remember that being played in my house growing up, and I was like, oh.
Okay,
it was one of those coincidences where you end
those
up
are the best,
by mistake in the right place at the right time.
That happens to me with old rock and roll music because my dad is like a super duper like old rocker guy, and I love it. But sometimes there's songs that I don't know, and I don't know the words, I don't know anything about them, but they pop up, and it's just like, it just like sparks some childhood memory, of my dad, so that's pretty cool,
So I got to see this guy live. That was like
cool.
one of the best performances I've ever seen.
Oh, really?
Really good.
Okay, wow, that's fantastic.
Amazing energy. Yeah.
So the Philippines know how to party, that's
it was
cool.
so random.
Okay.
And throughout that weekend, I ended up making a friend.
Beauty.
And then another couple friends. And we ended up all kind of traveling around together.
Okay. Beauty.
And,
in the Philippines or everywhere?
Just around there, and did some day trips.
Okay.
And then we're on the way back on this boat, and it's like things were getting pretty dicey. It was pretty stormy.
Okay.
They're breaking out the life jackets.
Sure.
Some people, are...
Yeah, of course. That's the worst. That's the worst. Yeah.
The part that got me a little worried, I was like, "That'll be fine. I can swim. I'm a good swimmer. I'll be fine." But then I saw the driver, the captain, and he was just completely sweating through. Like he looked pretty stressed out.
Oh my gosh. Okay. And
so at that point, I'm like, oh. And then I looked around at the locals and stuff, and they're kind of looking.
They're freaking out. Yeah. You're like, oh shoot.
And I look back at my friend, and she's met some dude, some like blonde Scandinavian looking guy.
Okay.
And they're up the back having a cigarette, just relaxing. I'm like, all right, well.
Go back there, right. Yeah. These guys look fine, yeah.
And so we end up back in Manila. And this guy just starts like he's kind of found our group.
Okay.
And he's lashing on. I'm like, who is this guy? Where did he come from? He's like, I'm Rum. And he's a Norwegian guy.
Okay.
And he's
his name is Rum.
Well, yeah. I found out
he just drinks a lot of rum. Yeah.
It's Runar, but he's been living in the Philippines a while, and nobody pronounced his name, so he just said,
he's just like, this is what I call, yeah.
I thought this guy's kind of weird. He kept snapping photos with his camera all the time. This guy's kooking me out. What's he doing?
Okay.
And anyways, long story short, I became very good friends with. They became a couple, actually, my friend and that guy.
All right.
And I ended up going back and forth to the Philippines, visiting them. And he was a big brewer. He was big into brewing.
Oh, okay.
And he loved IPAs and American style.
Everybody.
beer.
I mean, I think that's the most popular stuff, right?
Yeah, it is. But he was very into it.
Okay.
And we kept in touch, and
is he still there? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to Birdie Num Num Brewery.
Birdie Num Num Brewery.
Birdie Num Num
God.
Tropical Brewery.
Dude, that movie when I was a kid.
Oh, you know it.
Oh, I know it. Of course. Yeah.
You like showed me.
Oh my God, Birdie Num Num.
Pulling up Peter Sellers.
Guys, thanks. All good. Yeah. You're good. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. I didn't know the reference, man.
My dad used to watch that movie all the time, and he just thought it was the most hilarious thing. So I grew up with that's one of the movies that's in the background. I don't even know what it's called. I don't know who's in it. It's called The Party?
Yep.
So I know, but I just know that the East Indian guy always saying Birdie Num Num, right?
Yeah, it's not too PC now, actually.
Well, yeah, exactly, right?
I guess this is maybe in the 60s?
Yeah. But I basically, my dad... I mean, there would be a time where I kind of had a bit longer hair. I was in elementary school, and I would brush it, and my dad just was like, "Hey, Birdie Num Num, go brush your hair."
Man. All right.
Say bye, guys. Thank you. Yeah. Well, he's a special character for sure. Yeah.
Well, so is this guy.
Okay.
So I mean, he named his brewery after.
I would buy the beer just off of the name.
Oh yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. So yeah, he's got his brewery going.
Birdie Num Num Brewery. Oh wow.
He basically, I mean, I had brewed back home a little bit, but just very basic with kits.
Okay.
Nothing too crazy.
Okay.
But yeah, he taught me everything I know about brewing.
That's beautiful.
And,
oh my gosh.
I had to taste for beer.
Okay.
And so when I tasted his beer, even at the beginning when he was just doing it very, very primitive.
Sure.
Pots and pans and stuff.
Yeah.
It was really good. Like his IPAs were like
that's amazing.
What I remember.
I
like,
love that.
My God, this guy knows what he's doing.
How did you do that? It tastes like whatever brewery, right?
Yeah. And so he kind of got me that head start on the process.
Okay.
How to design the setup and everything.
Okay.
So basically that gave me the kind of blueprint to go off of.
That's amazing. Okay.
So I designed a kind of gravity brewery to kind of mimic a proper commercial setup.
Okay.
But it doesn't rely on electricity or pumps. It just is built on gravity.
Oh, that's amazing.
Most, reliable force out there. So
that's pretty reliable.
You don't have to move anything. You know, nice. You can repeat
it's
the
like
recipes.
Back to the Future. You know, everything just kind of did it. I love it. I love it. Yeah.
So
beautiful.
Yeah. So shout out to Rum and Birdie Num Num.
Rum and Birdie Num Num. Oh my
Tropical
God.
Brewery. Yeah.
That is fantastic.
Yeah.
Birdie Num Num.
He's got his original T-shirt. Just has the guy's face, face on there. And I was wearing it, and people were looking at me funny.
That's
and
amazing.
I had my hair cut
like,
exactly like it. And if I had it on, you'd wonder, like, is that guy wearing a T-shirt with his own face on it? It's a very striking resemblance.
Oh my God. To be honest, I don't remember what the guy looks like.
Yeah.
I just remember somewhat like a gray suit and like an East Indian guy who was really like, I don't even remember, but I remember Birdie Num Num.
Yep.
I don't remember, when did that movie come out, dude? I was a kid for sure.
I don't know, I guess like 60.
Yeah, I was a kid.
Or something. It's pretty, it's
old, yeah.
It might have already been, I'm sure it was already kind of a classic. And then in Norway, apparently, it's just like achieved this.
It's big in Norway.
Like, yeah.
That's fantastic. Oh my gosh, I didn't even know that. Yeah.
That's what he told me anyways. Maybe he's just a special guy.
I've got no idea, man, but that's funny. Birdie, shout out to Birdie Num Num, man. And teaching this guy how to brew, so now we get some more yummy beers out here, man. And this one is fantastic. I love it.
Liking it?
Love it. Yeah, I do. I'll probably have a refill in a sec.
Yeah.
Let's grab the next guy right here, dude. What do you think?
This one looks like...
You want to go drum or wing?
I'll go wing.
All right, so I'll go drum. I'll go drum, yeah. Oh, man, I got to get a shirt, dude. A Birdie Num Num brewery shirt.
Yeah, man. Next time I go, we're kind of both talking now when COVID's up. Mm-hmm. Is he gonna come here or am I gonna go there? What's going on? But
bring him
next
here.
time I'm there, he's gotta make some more of those t-shirts.
Bring him here, we'll get him some beers and some wings. And I want a t-shirt. Birdie Num Num, man. So obviously when you're brewing, home brewing, learning to brew, and then you step into like the business aspect of brewing, right? Obviously it's way different, right? Are there any things that you think that you didn't think of, like something that like this is way different than I thought it would be? You know, because I know a lot of people that, you know, they can let's just say they make good tacos, but you know the restaurant maybe is not going to happen, or you know what I mean? Like, sure. For example, same thing. I know a lot of home brewers that are fantastic, but none of them have tried, and some of them have wanted to try, but no one tries to go like, I don't want to say go professional, but turn it into a business. Yeah. But it is kind of professional, right? Yeah, I mean, to step it up, you're making money. Yeah, so you're pro, you go pro. So what's the difference? Are there any different things from, you know, when you're like the homebrew guy and then going pro? Are there any? What do you feel? How are you feeling about it? First of all,
well, for me, the excitement comes from being able to sit down. This is why I feel like I have the best job in the world, is to be able to sit down and think from scratch. What kind of beer do I want to brew today?
Okay.
What am I gonna brew? You know, what style? And so I can go through these different styles and now think about, okay, now I can't just think about myself or my wife in the case of the stout.
Yeah.
I've got to think now.
It's important.
How can I share this passion I have with everybody else? If I only brew for myself, that's a pretty narrow range.
Of course. Yeah.
So that's different. I mean, that's
like cooking
that's
for
more
myself.
Exciting. Yeah.
I only like this, so I'm only selling this. No.
So my mind is completely kind of shifted outwards.
Okay.
To think about what will people enjoy? What can I brew that, you know, as wide a range as possible will people enjoy?
Is there some kind of market research you have to figure out what people enjoy? Or is it based off stats or what?
So at the pizza shop, that presented
that's your first
chance. I mean, when we're starting out in the basement, we're not selling that beer because we're not a company, and so we're making it for fun.
Sure.
But we're free to share it. There's no, you know.
Yeah, of course you can
rules
share.
Rules against sharing it, and so kind of got a feel for what people were saying. Oh wow, this is really good.
Yeah.
Can I buy it? Like no, but okay. So, and then once we did make the jump, so then I already had a kind of a base idea about
And what are your sellers that are like? What's the big guy? What the big sellers?
Well,
my first guess is gonna be, where is it?
It's the one.
Ooh, there she is, right?
So yeah, that's a big shout out to Rum too, because we worked. I've traveled back and forth from the Philippines, and we're always talking about IPAs. And
yep.
Brewing, and this is one that he helped me out with a lot.
Okay.
And when I brewed it with him.
So that's your first kind of one that you're selling, right? Or no?
Is it the first one? Was the one we kind of opened out the gate.
Opened up the doors and stuff. Okay.
It's technically a pretty difficult beer to do.
Okay.
Because it's got so many hops that you can always risk.
Hey, thanks for coming out, man. Appreciate it, bud.
Hey, should give him a try?
You want to try some of this before you go? Try some of this stout.
Just a prototype.
Can you grab a glass?
It's not for sale or anything, but
just grab a glass, whatever glass. Yeah. Sorry, Jim. Come on, you got to come on and say hi, dude. That's okay. We got it. Yeah. Yeah. Go for it. Yeah. Hold up, where we at? There we go, bam. So he's just down on the side. He's got his stout. He's pouring a little bit here for Jim. There you go. You got to try that out. There you go. Come here, Jim. That's okay. We're okay, Lily. We're good, thanks. Jim, come and drink it on camera, man. What are you doing? Don't be shy. Let's go. Yeah. Yeah.
Small glass, big beer.
When you're ready to come and say hi, you just come and say hi, man. Yeah. It's all right. You guys can just do the bill right here. It's all good. Yes.
No, I want to make sure I pay for everything.
No, you're good. No worries, man. I'll just take free beer off of you next time. That's all good. Yeah. You can. The bill right there is okay. Yeah, no problem. Don't worry. No problem. Just go for it, man. No problem. It's all good. Yeah.
Definitely want to get paid, right?
Yeah.
Preferably, yeah. I mean, hopefully.
My daughter
Yeah.
is enviously looking at your setup.
Yeah? Hi.
She's a streamer.
Want to come on and say hi? Yeah.
An aspiring streamer.
Oh, really?
Right.
Nice. Okay.
She's commenting. Yeah, you
Oh, really? Oh, shit. Okay.
I'm gonna say hi.
Okay. This is it. Yeah. Come and say hi over here. Yeah.
You guys.
There we go. Yeah. There we go. Your daughter can come and say hi
you
too.
doing,
if you want to come
man?
say
Yeah,
hi.
all right.
I'm Eddie. Yeah. I am. Yeah. This is my shop. Yeah.
Oh man, just the third one.
Third one?
Maybe the spicy buffalo.
Yeah.
I'm guessing. We didn't actually get the
Okay.
name.
Good luck.
Okay. Oh, what happened? What happened last time?
I hope you
Survive.
survive the gauntlet.
Well, this will help.
Okay. Sure. Okay.
Yeah. This
That
one.
will definitely
I
help.
just
Okay,
picked
sure,
it
of
up
course.
yesterday, so it's a bit
Of
young
course.
right now.
Yeah. It was good. Okay. Well, good.
I hope you survive the gauntlet.
Awesome. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks.
And I wish you good luck.
Well, we're just using the local ingredients, right? Like we don't import anything. Like so, if you use like even our corn tortillas are made from corn, like local corn. There's no instant powder or stuff. We're like grinding, so it's yeah. So yeah, that's what we're trying to do. Yeah. From Canada. My parents are from Mexico, though. Yeah. Mexico or Canada? Mexico, Guadalajara. Yeah. Okay. All Mexican food there. Yeah.
10 minutes away.
Beautiful. Okay. Okay.
Seattle.
Okay. Beautiful. Okay. It's a great culture. Yeah. Thanks, man.
True.
Okay. Yes. We're trying. Yeah. Thanks, guys. Awesome. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Yeah. Hopefully, we'll see you guys soon. Yeah. I didn't get your name, man. Brad. Nice to meet you, Brad. I'm Eddie. Yeah. Sounds good.
Brian.
Thanks, guys.
So you guys are making some of the beer here?
Yes, he's doing Juicy Tango IPA, the number 4 there. The number 4 beer there.
Doing good? Good business?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
And then number 6 and 7 is this guy right here who's drinking it out. That's Jim. That's Jim from Jim and Dad's. Yeah.
Nice to meet you, Jim. I had your 6 and 7. I had your number 6, and thank you.
Yes.
Anyway.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.
Take care.
Keep in
Bye-bye.
touch. Yeah. Thanks a lot. So, what do you think, Jim? Come on in and say hi.
I said hi. It was like,
You said hi. There you
hi,
go.
guys.
You're hi. There you go. Yeah, that's
I
a
did
cut
the
off. I'll go
gauntlet.
after this one. Yeah.
It's tough, man. It's not
tough.
easy.
It's tough. Yeah.
This guy's gotta have to
Ready.
pull through.
Yeah, I feel ready, but
we're still
see,
on round one.
Now
We're
you're
still on-
starting to get me worried a little bit. I think we'll be all right.
Right on, brother. Cheers, man. Thanks for coming. It was nice to see you, Jim.
It's good to see everybody.
Yes.
Guys, keep watching the fucking show.
Please, come on.
Cheers, sir.
It's been
Nice
a
to meet
year.
you,
It's
man.
been over a year every single Wednesday. Every single Wednesday over 1 year, man.
Watch the fucking show, guys.
Jim, how's your podcast going? Going good, yeah. I see it popping up. Looks good. Yeah. Looking good.
We get about 2,000 clicks.
That's a lot, dude. That's fantastic. That's fun.
Okay.
That's pretty good, man. Let's be honest. Yeah. That's fantastic. Yeah.
Let's do a brewing edition. Let's talk beer.
No, we should get everybody on it.
Get all the brewers on, man. That's what this show's about. Let's connect all the dots, man. That's what these shows are about. These shows are about the dots, man. Connecting them. All the dots. We're
Get
done.
to your fucking wings.
Let's go. We're gonna eat
All
some
right.
wings. All right. And with that, we'll switch back to this camera. Yeah. Let's grab the next Korean, right? Let's do that.
Oh, Korean, all
I
right.
want to see how you guys handle it.
This is just a chill. These are chill. So let's grab the
So do you
Korean.
use the gochujang? The
Yes,
Korean,
yes, for sure. Yeah, so you have to let me know what you think because, I mean, your wife's Korean.
That's right.
So you have to give me some criticisms on this.
Yeah, when this all started, I had bought a nice big chest freezer for controlled fermentation of my beer.
Okay.
That turned into a kimchi freezer real quick.
That's
fantastic.
coming over
from
I love
Korea,
it.
and we got loaded up with gochujang. And, and I'm not complaining.
I love it. I love Korean food, man. I guess. Did you spend some time in Korea? Or?
Yeah, a lot.
Let's grab this and we'll talk about Korea. What about that? Yeah. You want drum or wing? What are you on? I forgot.
Stay on the wing too.
Okay. Let's go. Yeah. There you go, sir. You know, it's tough when you do wings in Taiwan because, like that, you've got the whole wing with a little tip on the end, right? And then you get the expats. They're like, "Hey, you're supposed to cut that off."
Really?
But then you have the Taiwanese that are like, "Hey, why did you cut that off?"
I never thought about it.
Yeah, no.
It doesn't bother me. I like a little extra.
Yeah, for sure.
Extra
a little extra skin.
Yeah,
for sure. Right. Thank you. So this is round 2.
All right.
That's gonna
somehow those look more benign.
They are a little spicier. I'm not gonna lie. How is it? It's all right.
Nice. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I always tell the story. I had this group of Korean dudes that came in for beers, and I just released this wing sauce, and they're like, "Oh, Korean," and I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, "Hey, we're from Korea, fantastic," and I'm like, "Oh my god!" Now I'm nervous, right? I start sweating buckets, but they liked it, so I was like,
"It's
okay,
good, man."
Good.
Yeah, the gochujang flavor's nice. It's real clear.
I like it.
That's nice.
Yeah. Thank you.
Obviously, my wife would be the ultimate judge.
Sure.
But yeah, that's really good. That's really good. I don't think I've actually ever had a gochujang style chicken wing.
Okay.
So that's nice.
We're breaking barriers here at Eddy's Cantina, right?
See how that goes with the beer. I think that'll go nice too.
Yeah, that's right. The
Chipotle was, I think, pretty
paired very nicely.
Yeah.
I thought it would because some people make Chipotle stouts, right?
Yeah.
So I think the Chipotle should pair well.
That one, not really. It goes fine, but it doesn't really do anything.
Yeah, there's no enhancement, right? Yeah.
I think that's the most common thing I've noticed. I'm just kind of
market
getting
research,
my toes
man.
wet on this, like
for
this
sure.
whole pairing thing. Is
I got to get Andres on here, and then we go and not do big beers, do like little samplers, and get him to pair my stuff, man.
He's such a humble guy, so he's not pushy about it.
Yeah, he's a fantastic
he wrote
guy.
a book about it. He's doing all these things, but he's not.
It's fantastic.
He doesn't push it on anybody, and he doesn't, he doesn't preach about it. But when he sat me down and was like, "All right, just try this with this," and then my mind,
blown,
opened. Yeah,
I've got
completely opened up.
Like I love beer. I don't have to drink a lot of it, but I'm kind of like I like to just sip on it and be like, I like this. What I was saying earlier, a buddy of mine imports wine, and so we went up and we had, I went up to pay the bill, and I probably told this story many times. Went up to pay the bill, and he's like, "Oh, it's like 3 p.m. Middle of the day. Daughter's still in school." He's like, "Oh, Eddy, what are you doing here?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm just here to pay the bill, man. What's up?" And he's like, "Oh, no. He starts like 8 bottles of wine. He opens like 8 bottles of wine. He's like, no, you have to try these beers." And I'm like, I got some stuff to do, bro. I'm just gonna pay the bill. He's like, no. And he pours like 8 glasses of wine, and like a little bit, right? And I'm like, okay. Twisting my rubber arm, right? So he's like, smell this one, shake this one, drink it, 4 white, 4 red. So I drank him, and he's like, "What do you think?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's good." And he's like, "What are you getting out of it?" I'm like, "It's fruity." He's like, "Okay, what else?" And I'm like, "It's fruity," And he's like, "Okay." And then we go, little water. Next one. He's like, "How's that one?" I'm like, "Oh, it's delicious." What do you think? I'm like, "Yeah, it's fruity." And I basically went to like through all of them, and almost towards the end, it was like, they were all fruity. They were good. Thanks, brother. Nice to see you, man. Have a good one, yeah? And basically, he comes out, and at the end, he's like, "No, you gotta smell it, right?" And I'm like, "Okay," so I'm smelling it. So I'm like, he's like, no, get in there and smell it. So I like smell it. I put my nose in the glass and I snort it, right? Because I got a big nose, right? And I'm just like, and I snorted a bunch of wine. So it tastes a little different after you snort it.
You just gotta harden up and be like, that's part of my process.
And you're just like, yeah, that's what this giant nose is for. Snorting wine, yeah. So yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it. I had a good time. At the end of that, he's like, "You hungry? You want pizza?" I ordered pizza, and I'm like, and we ended up being like a day-long thing, and I just got shit-faced, and I was just like, I was shit-faced. Yeah, good time though, a really good time. Yeah, I got to get him on the show.
Can I get you a refill?
Yeah. Well, it's pretty yummy, dude. Oh, I'm excited.
Yeah, that came out all right.
I like when
I really like the rye.
Yeah.
What the rye does, it kind of adds this like.
It's like a layer.
A layer at the end. Yeah, it's a little bit not spicy, but it's just kind of like it lingers.
Yeah,
I like it.
I think it's awesome, man. I enjoy it. I love it. Like I said, that's my favorite style, and I think my wife, actually, she doesn't really drink, but she likes the dark style. Mm-hmm. And how I got her into that was. You know those German malts, those drinks that are they're a little bit sweet. They're a little bit sweet.
It's just unfermented beer.
Is that why? Because I love those. I'll drink if I see those on a menu or what, I'll drink the hell out of those. And then my wife also, she's like, "Oh, that's weird." And then she started drinking it, and she's like, "Oh, she likes it." So now if I get a dark beer, she drinks it. She likes it. She likes the dark beer.
That's malts, the precursor.
Malts are the German gateway drug to stouts.
To beer.
To beer, yeah. To beer, the German gateway drug.
True. Malts, it's literally true, yeah.
It's delicious, man. I love it. I love those things.
Yeah, I always taste the wort. Sweet. We call it the wort. So that's at that stage it's called, for beer at least it's called wort.
Okay.
And I always give it a taste, but for this brew actually is the first time
you just went blind.
I took a pull and it's warm. You know, that's how you
of course, that
extract
makes sense.
Convert the starch into sugar. You got to heat it. That's kind of probably the most important part of the whole process.
Okay, that makes sense.
It comes out warm. You give it a taste like, ooh, it's always sweet because it's basically
it's warm
sugar.
Okay.
And but this one I was like, ooh, and I got the idea like, well, let's add a shot of whiskey to that, and it was beautiful.
Oh,
so this is just that sweet, super sweet wort.
Okay.
That's before you add the water. Before you add the water to kind of rinse the grains and you get it in the end in the big pot.
Okay.
It's very like concentrated.
Okay.
So with this one, I added a little bit of whiskey, and that was a nice treat. So that's a new. Delicious. That'll be a new
little aperitif.
Whenever I brew a stout, that's it. That's
the tradition. Little Wharton whiskey.
Yeah. Well, now we're entering the winter, so it'll make more sense. I think that day was actually pretty hot, but still good.
I know people drink beers based on the temperature, but I'm always down for a dark beer, man. It doesn't matter if it's 40 degrees outside. I'm like, I'll take the dark. Yeah.
So then you finish the process.
Doesn't quite work with a restaurant, but
that's
for me, yeah.
So and I ended up, I added the hops, finished making the beer, and I said, I'll still save some of the wort.
Sure, of course.
Before I pitched the yeast, and I thought, but once I had added the hops and water, and I tried to share that with somebody else with whiskey, they're like, it didn't work.
It didn't work.
So it's that pre-hop.
So now the pre-hop. Pre-hop. All right, beautiful. So you were saying Korea. You met your wife in Korea, I guess?
We did not meet in Korea.
Let's fix that.
Met in Shanghai, in China.
Okay. What were you guys doing in Shanghai? What was she doing in Shanghai?
She was on her way to Sichuan province.
Okay.
So she was just stopping over in Shanghai for a quick,
so you saw her in the airport, and you're just like, what?
Close.
What's up?
Close. Yeah, it was actually I was working in Shanghai at that time on a little bit of a
pull that little guy.
Little bit of a vacation.
Picture for you. There. Hey.
Yeah. My good friend Christina took that picture.
It's a great picture,
It's a good
man.
picture. Yeah.
That's
she's a pretty amazing photographer.
Like a pro, or
she could be. But that's her passion.
Yeah, because I was looking at that and I thought, damn, that's a good picture, man. Shoot.
Yeah, she's got skills.
Yeah, that's fantastic, man.
When I saw that, I was like, thanks.
Juicy Tango. This is the guy that makes the Juicy Tango right here. Yeah, Juicy Tango de Laoban right here. Yes.
All right.
You like it? All right. Yes.
Cheers.
So I'm interviewing the Juicy Tango. Yes. All right. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So you guys. So you met.
So
in Shanghai,
it was that.
You were just zipping through too.
Yeah, I would get about 8. Well, I was working there at the time.
Okay.
I would work there, and I'd work like 8 days and get 5 days off. So during that time off, I'd go into the city or go do some kind of travel.
Sounds like the restaurant business, but without the 5 days off. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It was a good gig. So I'd go right in the city and just hang out. And so I had gone to this hostel a lot and was hanging out in they had this. That's why I stayed there. A really nice courtyard area.
Sure.
And I was sitting there doing some work on the computer, and she walked by with these giant, these ridiculously like big suitcases.
Okay, I love that.
It's like, well, this place, I knew that this place does not have an elevator.
Okay.
So,
wow.
And there's not that many rooms on the ground floor. They're almost everybody's staying on the second or third floor.
Okay,
so
okay.
I was like, all right. I was just actually really just trying to be nice. And, hey, do you need? And she looked a little lost. I was like, do you need some help?
Need some help, yeah.
And so she showed me which room she was in. And I was like, oh yeah, that's upstairs. So I'll help you. And she kind of looked at me like,
who the fuck is that guy?
Like, well, at that time I was actually pretty slim.
Okay.
You know, kind of small dude. So
we
she's
all
like,
slim
I don't think
once upon a time.
I think she really doubted my ability
to
haul these suitcases.
Like, this guy, no chance.
And she said, "Are you sure?" Okay. She kind of gave me a look, and I was like, "Don't worry, I'm strong."
Like, hey.
All right. So we got the bags up.
And even if it was too heavy, you were just like, no way. Now I gotta do it. Yeah.
So I helped her out. And at the end, she gave me like a little bag of chips.
Okay.
A Korean snack.
I love it.
She had brought over for her friends.
Yeah.
And I thought, wow, she really likes me.
Okay.
She gave me these chips. I'm like, oh, this is a good thing.
Yes, I love it. Yeah.
But little do I know, from her perspective, she was like, all right, that's it. You helped me.
Get out of here.
I gave you, something. So that the transaction's done.
We're over. Yeah, it's done.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Hit the road.
Yeah. Okay,
so,
okay. I love that.
That might have been the end of it, I suppose.
Okay, sure. Well, let's hear it. Let's keep going.
Yeah, if she tells the story, it'll be slightly different than I tell the story.
Yeah, for sure.
So I go back down. I'm back at my computer, and she walks by.
She's like, hey, Chips, what's up? How are the chips?
Yep, she's gone. Okay. And then at that day, I was kind of feeling a little bit like tired, am I coming down with a cold or something? So just go get some Tylenol at the drugstore. So I head out, and she's standing out there in the rain with her umbrella.
Yep.
And if she tells the story, she'll say, I followed her. If I tell the story, she's following me.
But
in any way, so we end up getting coffee, and,
the rest is history, eh?
Going on our 4th anniversary this year.
That is fantastic. So the real question is, if it was a dude, would you have helped with the suitcase?
I think so.
Really? Okay. And then...
Maybe not quite as enthusiastically, but...
Okay. And if she wasn't hot, would you have helped with the suitcase? Absolutely. What a guy. What a guy. Okay.
She will say I was sitting there, and as she put it, she says I was fishing.
You're sitting there waiting.
I was fishing. She says, you were fishing for girls.
I like that Korean girl.
That's what you were doing. She's still, to this day, I don't know if she really thinks that, but no, it wasn't.
But it worked.
It wasn't quite the case.
It worked.
But anyways.
Hey. And now you're here.
I need a refill.
You're going to fill it up. I'll take a refill on that as well, yeah. Oh, yeah. Going down to the refill. We got a little pony keg here. Check that out. Boom. Got a little keg down there. A little imperial. I love the. I can get a little sense of the vanilla.
Yeah, it's just there.
It's really subtle.
I think if we had another couple of weeks to just let it
sit, the vanilla would rise. Yeah. Okay.
It's nice when it's.
I'll be honest. I'm enjoying it a lot. Yeah. Beautiful. It's beautiful.
Yeah, actually, I'll be straight. I had to do a little. I call it a shake and bake.
Shake and bake, and I helped.
Yeah. This was just kegged up.
Okay.
Yesterday.
Okay.
So, you got to add CO2.
Okay.
Which usually takes about a week.
Okay.
But I rarely want to wait a week from the time I keg my beer.
We're men. We're not patient.
Yeah. So I've kind of honed
beer. Get with it.
Give it a quick shake. The CO2 gets absorbed, and then you put it on overnight at a little bit higher pressure.
Really? Shake and bake.
I'd say it came out all right.
I love it.
I'm happy with it. Yeah.
I haven't even heard the term shake and bake in forever, dude. Do you remember that shake and bake? That you know what it is, right? Like the actual. It's like chicken breading.
Oh yeah,
it's like chicken breading. Remember that? It's like
the actual. It was actually like a brand name.
It was like a brand name. Yeah, it was like a
whatever
breading
happened to the shake and
I
bake?
remember my mom was like this fantastic cook.
Yeah.
And then we went into like we go. My mom's like a fantastic cook. We're going grocery shopping, and I love going grocery shopping with my mom. and we go down. I always see those shake and bake commercials.
Yeah, and
it's shake and bake, and I helped, you know. Yeah. And I was just like, okay, so and
you got a good memory, man.
I'd see like that shake and just random weird shit. So I'd go and I'm like shake and bake, and I'm like, Mom, we have to get it. And my mom's like, that's just like super cheap, like bread flour and whatever seasoned bread flour.
Advertising,
because my mom is just like chef. She's like, oh, that's just, you know, breadcrumbs and this seasoning and this. She's like, I can make it myself. I'm like, no, we have to get shake and bake, and I gotta help.
That one.
And I gotta help, you know. So it comes in this plastic bag, and you throw the seasoning in, and you have like your raw chicken or whatever. You throw it in there, and you shake it up, and then you put it in the oven and you bake it. Right? That's pretty good. It's breaded chicken. It's baked breaded chicken. As a kid, I remember it being pretty good, but probably now it's not. I don't even know if it's around.
My mom was also a very amazing cook.
Shout out to the moms that cook. Shout out to the moms that cook, man. Yeah, no, I love it.
And we had that. We had it was like a bucket kind of, right? It was like a can of shake and bake. We had one of those.
Shake and bake.
It sat in our cabinet for a long time. I don't think it was.
I also had the same experience with stovetop stuffing, because my mom makes amazing stuffing, and stovetop is not amazing.
Who needs it?
Yeah, I'm just like, I was like, no, we got to try the stovetop, you know, and it was shit. And I was like, when you're in college and you're like, nah, it's okay.
Well, I think we have similar upbringing where we were like spoiled.
Yeah.
We didn't know it.
You're like, McDonald's, yeah. And then mom's like, I made tamales. I'm like, I don't want tamales, I want McDonald's.
Yeah, my first
and then you go
time,
to college and it's over.
I remember very
Shattered
distinctly
dreams.
my first McDonald's experience.
Yeah.
And it was not allowed. It just wasn't allowed in my house. So
it's shit food.
It was like became this kind of
and you're just like, it's
thing I couldn't have but wanted.
Sure.
I mean, advertising at that point was totally targeted.
Remember the
at
Monopoly
kids.
game? Yeah.
So I wanted desperately. So finally, you know, I'm at a friend's house.
Need it.
And we get McDonald's, and I'm so stoked. French fries, all right. Yeah, this is everything I dreamed of. Took out the
fries
burger.
Are good, yeah.
Took one bite of that burger, and I just stopped. And I'm maybe 3 or 4 years old. But I remember a very clear memory of that first bite, and then being like,
what?
I don't think I had ever had Kraft cheese like that processed cheese.
Yeah.
I don't think I had ever tasted that before.
That chemically
and it just
created
was not,
cheese. Yeah.
My taste buds were not.
Because your mom is like hand making all the foods, right? Yeah, for sure.
Probably took me a few more years to put it all together. That how lucky.
For sure.
But yeah.
Well, let's grab the next one, brother.
All right.
Let's go. We'll keep going.
I think I can smell it now. So that means it's getting.
So that's the Thai sauce. That's made with bird's eye chili.
Ooh, nice. Okay.
And go for it. Am I drum or am I wing? What do you want?
Let's mix it. I'll go back to
whatever you want, brother.
So I'm curious because I had some apprehension about eating wings on live camera.
Okay.
So have you ever had a guest that just gets totally sauced up?
Most of them swell up, dude.
No, or just gets some crap on their face, and they're like, just keep going. And
sometimes, Sometimes, yeah.
What do you do? How do you handle that situation?
I kind of.
Am I in that situation?
No, you're good. You're good. Hopefully, I'm not either. That's why I keep looking up there. So how do you?
Yeah.
I kind of will try to be like, hey, you got a little something there? But I remember. There was one of them was a female guest. It was a really good looking guest, and they had like a big smear. And I was like, we need to do something about that. Yeah, I think it was
doing some facial expressions. Ooh, that's nice.
Moving up.
I know that chili. I recognize
the
that.
bird's eye. You can do a bird's eye beer, man. Ooh. Thai.
So do you grow any of the?
Call this the Thai.
The chilies, or do you outsource the sauces?
No, we make everything, brother. Ooh. Come on.
So where do you get
now you're insulting me.
No, I'm
kidding.
Sometimes you.
Thanks, Thomas.
You still gotta have the knowledge to know, this is gonna work or not. That's really good. Okay, that's.
The last sauce is made by a company called Flavor of the World.
Oh, I know Brian. Sauce Brian.
Brian, yeah. So he makes that.
That's the one I have in my house.
It's really hot.
It's got the 3 skull and crossbones on the
I don't know what it's called. I don't know. It's suicide sauce.
Yeah, I use that at home.
You use it? So you should be fine then. Yeah.
I'm almost out.
Oh, yeah? Well, I got some. So
is that the final?
That is the final. Okay, but it's like caked in that. Yeah.
But that is a pretty serious.
That's pretty serious.
I've done it to myself at home sometimes where I just accidentally I'll make a quesadilla or something. Yeah. It's just like, ooh.
But these two kind of switch. Sometimes this one's hotter. Sometimes this one's hotter.
Which one?
This is mine. That's This is made with scorpion. With scorpion peppers. So but I really care about the flavor of the creamy and
gotta
just
get
like you gotta think that this is creamy. These three are creamy. And there's no dairy. It's a lot of garlic and onion. And it's a lot of a long simmer, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's
slow cooking.
Yeah, it's good. I don't know. I like that. I like food, and food has to be good for me. So just one more story about being a kid, spoiled a little bit. Chef Boyardee. As a kid, I used to think
commercials.
was fantastic. As a kid, I was like, oh my god, this is fantastic. But then when you grow up and you're just like, you try it again, you're like, what is this? It's crazy. It's crazy. I remember being in college. You know how to cook.
Yeah.
But you're in college. You're lazy.
Yeah.
You don't want to do shit. You don't even want to go to class. You don't do nothing except for party and hang out, right? So it's college. So you're going into college. I miss my mom's food. I'm telling people, I'm talking about my mom's food, And I'm telling them, my mom does this and that. And
you're starting to realize it's sinking in.
It's sinking in because you eat McDonald's like 5 days in a row, and then you're like, oh my gosh. You go to Costco, you buy like a monster box of Nutri-Grain bars, and you're like, I could live off of these.
I'm living off of them.
And now I'm living off of them, and I'm like, oh my gosh.
But this is not so great.
This is awful, yeah. You're right? So you do that, and then you come out, and everybody's like, you miss mom's food? Yeah, well, I know a Mexican place we can go around and we check it out. I'm like, oh, really? And I come from a small town. There's nothing there. There's a Subway. There's not even a McDonald's. There might be one now. No, there's not one still. There's an A&W now. A&W is way better than McDonald's.
I don't know what happened to the A&W in the U.S.
A&W is
in
fantastic.
Canada, first time I went to Vancouver, everywhere. I was like, hey.
A&W is delicious. I love A&W. Yeah. One of those frosty root beer floats.
Root beer float. Can't beat it.
Teen burger and onion rings. You're good to go. I love A&W. It's one of the first
You could have a nice beer float with this one.
Hell yeah, beer. You totally could, right?
A scoop of vanilla.
Hey, thanks,
guys.
Right. Thomas, take care, brother. See you soon, man. Have a good one, bud. So we go, and they bring me, I'm excited. I'm having food. I'm having Mexican for dinner. Mm-hmm. And they take me to a Taco Bell, right? So I'm like, I go in. I'm like, okay, I go in. I didn't even know. I've seen, again, the power of marketing. I've seen, what was it? Yo quiero Taco Bell, the little dog, right?
Dog, yeah.
And I'm like, it looks good. Because
it looks good.
That dog likes it, sounds good. And it's all over the place in the cities, so it must be good. So I go in, but they bring me to Taco Bell, not telling me that this is the Mexican place they were talking about. So we go in, I have like some tacos and, I don't know, fries with whatever that... I call it gas station cheese.
Yeah, that's nice. I call it bowling alley cheese. So where did
gas
you have
station,
it the first time?
Bowling alley cheese. Gas station, bowling alley cheese. That's what I call it.
Yep.
So I go in, I get that, and I'm a college kid, right? So I ate it, and I'm like, okay.
Depending on the time of day or time of night.
Exactly. I'm like, okay, so I eat it, and they're like, how is it? I'm like, it's all right, man. Thank you. Thanks for bringing me out. And they're just like, so, and I'm like, so what? And they're like, so is it authentic?
Oh, no.
And I'm like,
oh, no.
What?
So they're looking at you, looking for answers. Like,
I'm lost.
You're the judge. You're supposed to be
lost completely. No. I'm like, authentic what?
Authentic
what?
Food? Yeah.
Right? And they're just like, is it authentic Mexican? And then it clicked to me. This was the place that they were bringing me to eat Mexican. And I'm like, oh, this is the Mexican place you were talking about? And they're just like, yeah. So how is it? I'm like, oh, it's not authentic. I mean, come on. You thought this was Mexican food? And they're like, yeah, it is. And I'm like, I ate it.
Did you feel an immediate need to go cook for these guys?
I was just no, but you know what? The story. Here's the extended version of this story. We went up to the club that week, and one of the guys that I met a guy at the club. There's one of the guys I met at the club. I was this Latino dude. His name was Silvio. Shout out to Silvio, Las Palmeras in Nanaimo. So Silvio, he's like, hey man, you speak Spanish? I'm like, yeah. So we start speaking Spanish and we get along. Everything's cool. Everyone's chilling. Everyone's hanging out. And he's like, hey man, he gives me the business card to his family restaurant. Okay. It's called Las Palmeras, right? He's not Mexican, but it's like Central American. And I'm like, hey man, let's try it out. So, Next day, I go in there by myself. Central, I can't remember where, man. Central America for sure. But speaking everyone else speaks Spanish, so in my opinion, we're all the same, right? Yeah. Some of the other countries might have a different view, but hey, man, you speak Spanish, even if you speak English, like even English, Canadian, American, we're the same. I'm cool with everybody, right? So we go in, we eat. I actually went by myself. I ate, and I was like, oh my god, it tastes like home. I mean, obviously not Mexican, but he's got like the beans and it's delicious. Yeah. Quality is just beans, rice. They had like fried plantains, and it's like, oh my gosh. They had like pupusas and just all this crazy stuff. I was like, this is the place. So the week comes by, another week. I bring my friends, the Taco Bell guys, the Taco Bell crew. I bring them to Las Palmeras. I order up everything, and I'm just like, and they didn't like it. They didn't
Go
like
back
it.
To Taco Bell guys.
They hated it. They're like, "Oh my gosh, this is kind of weird." I'm like, "What?"
Well,
I'm like, "What?" Like,
it's the opposite end of that. Where your first bite of something just crappy, you're like, "Oh, this is crappy," but they had the opposite. They've been eating
the Chef Boyardee's and the chunky soup or whatever,
The bowling alley, gas station cheese,
gas station nachos.
That was not that.
Yeah, and they're like, no, we don't like this. I'm like, this is real food and real ingredients. It's the real deal. I mean, are you kidding me? And I'm like, oh my gosh, I was shocked. There was actually another place called Gina's Mexican Cafe where we went in there and we got like a fajita, and my steak tastes like they refried it like 5 times, and I was like, and they loved that place, and I was like, what did you guys grow up eating, man? Because damn.
Yeah, it's not really their food. It's nobody's fault, really.
Yeah, it's nobody's fault. Yeah, for sure.
Lucky.
Yeah, we're just spoiled. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, my mom, she grew up in San Diego.
San Diego.
I think most of her friends were Latino, so she kind of gravitated towards that food. Yeah. She just loved to cook. I learned later, whoever she met that could cook, she would absorb that was kind of
like my
cooking.
Mom too. Yeah. That's kind of like my mom too. Yeah.
Had a lot of like Indian, and my dad's side of the family is Italian, so she learned from my grandma on that side. She learned like mastered all of that stuff. So it was I didn't realize until Italian food until college how
well that's where it is.
Lucky I was.
That's when you realize it. You go to college and you're like, Mom, tamales again. I want a Big Mac.
And I absorbed some of it, but I did not pay as close of attention as I should have. So I can do some of the stuff, but I really wish now I had like been a better apprentice or something.
My mom used to do this. What she still does is turkey and stuffing, and she puts like these strips of bacon on it on the top, and they roast it, and then the bacon fat roasts into the turkey, and then as soon as she opens the oven, I'm like, yoink! I take all the bacon, and everyone's like, you took all the bacon. I'm like, so what?
It's okay.
What are you gonna do about it? It's gone. What are you gonna do about it? I'm gonna eat it. What are you gonna do? Yeah,
we would do our turkeys on the big Weber grill on coal.
Oh, that sounds
and everyone would come over for Thanksgiving dinner. So that that was the once a year time we do it. Everyone thought it was so ambitious.
Yeah.
And oh my God, you're doing it not in the oven, you're doing it on this Weber. But actually, it was this easy thing. You get it started. It takes all day, but you're there all day anyways.
Yeah, you're there anyway.
You got a tray underneath that with the juices, and you just let it sit there. So
you doing anything for Thanksgiving or what?
Maybe Jay. We'll see. He's every year sometimes doing the.
He's got like a turkey meal or
feast,
something.
But recently he's been it's a little bit busy.
Jay. Come on, man. Let's go.
Those turkeys.
Jay, if you make it happen, I'm coming out. Let's go. Yeah.
Back at the tilted
at
shack.
The tilted shack.
So that's no more. That space is done.
It's gone.
It's getting turned into a parking lot. So
really?
The operation's been moved to up the road a bit.
Oh shoot.
To a nicer location.
Okay.
It's got a nice basement where we keep all the beer cold and stuff.
I love it.
But yeah, it's I think that's a lot of work. That's a lot of work doing a Thanksgiving meal
It is a lot of
20,
work.
30 people.
You know when your mom was having people over and she's like full spread.
Yeah.
My mom too, same deal. You're just like, damn, that's a crazy amount of work. Yeah. Let's grab that next guy right there, man. Jalapeno.
Right. That last one was real good.
It was all right, yeah?
I really like that
round
sauce.
2 is the stuff, right? It's tough.
That sauce was,
good stuff. Yeah, man.
So this one looks interesting.
This is a similar recipe, but instead of bird's eye, it's jalapenos.
Oh, nice.
And it's all this. And when we get jalapenos, the big ones, we gut them and turn into poppers. And so the seeds that we gut, we also throw into this.
My old friend.
It's pretty good.
I remember as a kid, because my mom would basically just give me a jalapeno. She'd roast them on the skillet.
Your mom's Mexican, dude.
But then I would I just remember a few times.
One of the rules the only rule for the show is just don't touch your eyes, dude.
I'm done it enough now. It's like must have learned. But the jalapenos, that's my old friend.
Hello, jalapeno, my old friend. Yep. Right there you go. Yeah,
right,
get in there, brother.
I'll go wing.
All right. Hell yeah, let's go.
Oh yeah, right there on front, jalapeno. Nice.
It's a kick
Not a
in the
flavor
face,
I get to enjoy too much anymore.
Yeah, I mean, people complain because we do poppers, but when they're gone, and we can only make poppers when we have fresh jalapenos.
That's good.
And if there's no fresh jalapenos, we can't make them. There's nothing we can do about that.
Yeah.
We're not God, dude.
Flavor,
we're not God. You know, like what can we do?
There's no jalapenos over here.
And people are like, you should grow your own. And I said, do you know how many peppers we go through on a daily basis? A ridiculous amount. To make like a salsa, we're going through like 5 or 6 habaneros.
All right.
That's in a day.
I sense a mission coming on. We got where we live, it's translated to Garden City. So
Xindian is Garden City? No.
Huayu and Xinjiang.
Okay. No
so,
shit.
Well, they got flower, but
Chinese
it's Garden City. The English translation is Garden City.
Let's go.
So we grow a lot of chilies, too many to use, but I never tried jalapeno. I never got a hold of some jalapeno seeds.
Okay, well, I have some in the freezer if you want some.
Hook me up with some seeds. We'll see what get. Like you said, you're probably going through enough, but I know some people with little plots of land that we'll see.
I'm in.
The peppers seem to be the best thing to grow.
Yeah.
Up there.
Apparently jalapenos grow slow. They grow better down south. But I don't know. I'm not a farmer, dude. I have no clue.
Me neither, actually.
So I don't know. How's that one?
I don't have the green thumb, but I try. We try. We try to do it.
You know what, man? I always say anybody can do anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I subscribe.
I have a freaking restaurant.
You might not be able to make money doing it, but you can definitely do it and do it pretty well.
You can make money. It might take a while. Like,
there you go.
Like
time.
people talk about the restaurant business. You know, in the first year, X amount fail. First 5 years,
the toughest business
blah
there
blah
is,
blah fail, right? And then by 10 years, like 95 or 90 whatever percent fail by the 10th year, and you're done. We're over 10 years. Did we make money the first 10 years? No, we did not. But I think it takes a stubborn person to be like, no, it's going to work. I think we're going to do it.
So I just realized.
I think it's going to happen. That's what it's for.
That's for us. Now it took me to that wing to realize that there's actually. But
that's for us. I'm gonna have a little swig of horchata off that one. Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's you chose a tough game, the toughest game in terms of the service business, or not even the service, just in general. I think restaurants are notoriously. It's like show business or something. Like people say, you get that skeptical eye of people, like, you know, good luck. But actually. When you say I
think we can do it. I think it's doable. It's doable. Yeah. It's very hard.
Yep.
But I don't know, man. I think it's doable. I think if you really just take care of the people, you take care of food, you take care of the drink. Like I try to do service, drink, and food. This like triangle.
Yep.
For me.
Cheers.
Bye. Here, cheers.
That is the trifecta.
If you can do that, the trifecta exactly. And
how did the order go? And you just said service was number one, right?
You know what? I think it is.
Yeah,
I think it is.
If you don't have service, nobody's coming back.
Yeah, exactly. I think service is
at the end of the day. That's what makes your business is the.
And you know what's crazy? When you start, you don't think that it's the most. You think your food's amazing. Everyone's just gonna come. No, they're not. They're not gonna come. You have to give them an experience. You have to kind of, they got that expression, wine them, dine them. Not necessarily wine them, but you have to give them the experience. They're coming in. They're like,
that's what they're paying for.
That's what they're paying for. And you know what? We're not the cheapest Mexican place in town, but we get mostly 4 and 5 star reviews. Sure, we get 1 stars. Everyone does. But people come in. Hey, these guys are hand making their food. Oh my gosh, they got local craft beer on tap, like good stuff. I'm not talking about like the crappy stuff. They got good stuff on tap. I'm like the guy, man.
I remember.
We're the guys that got the early stuff.
It must have been the first few months I was in Taiwan. I was like, all right, I need to find some Mexican food because I'm kind of dying. And I found you. And that was a long time ago now. And I found you at the other shop on that little corner.
It's been 14 years, man.
And you had my original favorite beer in the bottle, and I was so like,
which one's that?
That might have sparked something at that point.
Yeah,
like,
sure.
Because that was like, okay, there's craft beer here, but that's the first time I found it, and the only
craft
time
beer,
for a while
Mexican
after
food, like what?
It was Rogue. Yeah. It was Rogue Dead Guy.
Rogue, yes, Rogue Dead Guy, yes.
Shout out to Rogue.
Love
there,
Rogue. Love
Astoria,
his Rogue.
Oregon.
Love Rogue.
Yeah, I spent a lot. I would always go out there on my birthday because they'd give you a giant, like, ridiculous 2-liter mug. And they'd give you the choice of whatever you want on tap.
That's fantastic.
They'll fill it up, but you can never order that mug normally. Yeah. It's not for sale.
Oh, really? Okay.
So only on your birthday, and they throw you. You can pick one piece of.
Oh, I like that idea, man.
So I'd always, man. They'd even give you a little card. They call it your rogue citizen.
Oh my gosh!
Just speaking of service,
I'm glad this is recorded because I'm gonna rip that idea off. I love it. Yeah, it's fantastic. We actually have these mugs that we're turning into a mug club.
All right.
And I'm just working out the details. I like that idea
keep me up
yeah,
that,
baby.
Hell yeah. Mug club.
Woo. That jalapeno's
that's
kicking
really
in.
Nice. That one, man. I haven't had that flavor in a long time.
Yeah, that's actually my favorite. I think.
Yeah,
but, man. It's
I would say
stuff,
so far that's also my favorite.
Good stuff, right?
The Chipotle is really cool.
Chipotle is solid too. Yeah.
Actually, can't complain, man. They've all been really good.
Oh, pretty good. Okay, well, that's good.
There was one on the last one. This one was that a spicy buffalo? Was that what that was? Is there a spicy version of the buffalo?
Sorry, that was a cayenne. That's similar to these, but instead of buffalo's made with cayenne, right?
Yeah.
But we use those fresh long local cayennes.
That was really good.
That one, I was trying to make my own buffalo, and then people liked it, but they also still wanted that Frank's, because Frank's is
it's the tangy
Frank's. I got that, and I would throw the tang in mine, but they're like, this is fantastic.
Yeah, what is that? Vinegar? I mean,
it's vinegar. Yeah,
it's not.
They're like, this is probably better.
Somehow
than Frank's
got
but we still want the Frank's.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, let's do it. Let's do them both. So we do them both.
Yeah,
we call it the cayenne.
So I got that. I got the. I tasted it. I was like, hey,
you go to the market because
yours is much better.
Thank you. Well, I appreciate it, man. I mean, like, we go to the market. They're both
yours
good.
Got much more full. Like, okay.
Thank you.
It's like on steroids.
Like you go to a market, right? And I'm always looking for habaneros and ghost peppers and all that stuff, and they don't always have it. And sometimes they always have those long red ones. And the little red ones.
Those grow like crazy.
Right?
Those are so easy to grow.
So those little red ones, the bird's eye. So I'm like, I'm gonna buy. Give me a
that's
kilo.
the
Give me a
bird's
kilo
eye.
of each. Give me.
I got a freezer full of that. Okay, I didn't even know. I was just growing chilies up there.
Give me a kilo of each, and I'm gonna make hot sauce out of them. And it costs nothing because it's not nothing. I mean, it's gone up lately. They grow
easy, yeah.
But they grow easy. I mean, they're cheaper than chocolate habaneros, right? So so that's what we did. They actually sell well, and they're good. They're very good. Yeah. Very good.
So you asked me, I guess, in the beginning, what is different about doing the business side?
Yes, sir.
And I think that's the difference is thinking about the customer.
Yes.
It's like it becomes a different focus. It's
the customer experience.
You're cooking for yourself or your family, you're close. Or I'm brewing for myself or my close circle.
Uh-huh.
But when you switch it up, it broadens the challenge, really.
Yeah, it is. It
becomes then like, okay, we're in this to make people happy, right?
Make people happy. That's what it's about. I mean, a buddy of mine just sent me a picture of a new taco place or something downtown. He's like, oh, there's actually a new taco place and it's good. And I'm like, oh, how long have they been open? And it's like 2 weeks or something. I'm like, call me when they hit 10 years, man, because this is not just about a good taco. There's so much that goes into this business. It's ridiculous. You don't even know.
Yeah.
You don't even know until you do it.
Starting to learn, yeah.
You only know when you start. And it's crazy. And now, in like, the last few years, social media is ridiculous. You got to be a social media guy.
Yeah, how do you feel? I have a question for you. How do you said, you get a couple 1-star reviews, which I
have a lot of 1-star
It can be
reviews.
revenge. It can be just people who like to, just haters.
Yeah, there's a lot of haters, man. But I always think...
So how do you think about this where everybody has a voice?
Everyone has a voice.
And it actually has an impact.
It's actually an impact. I think that, like, the haters... I think you're on the right track if you've got haters. That's what I think. I mean, if there's no haters, it's like everybody can't love me, man. You know what I mean? Like, everybody can't love you. Everyone can't love the Juicy. Everyone can't love Eddy's Cantina. Everybody doesn't love it, for sure. And I mean, some people hate us. Some people give us a 1-star review. Sometimes it's a competitor. I mean, my restaurant has got raided because we got reported by a competitor of hiring illegals. Like, we've gone through everything. Like, we've been reported by ex-staff that was pissed off that we were doing like illegal labor stuff. Like, it's crazy, the stupid shit that we've been reported for. And I mean, we follow all this stuff. Imagine all the places that are like in the out. They don't follow shit. That's cool. I'm not judging.
I guess that would be the other thing I'm learning.
It's crazy. No, but I mean, we get shit all the time.
I got to do everything above board, because the moment you
have to be above. Yeah, you were talking about that last time.
You're looking around saying everybody else is
dude, when I was
seems to know the ways to cheat, but when
I was in Danshui, somebody reported us as unsanitary. So the sanitary bureau comes in, they check out everything, and they're just like, holy shit, this place is super clean. And I'm like, well, yeah, of course it's clean, because it's where people eat. It needs to be clean. They all not only didn't report us or whatever, they invited me to give a speech at like the sanitary convention of some shit, right?
Wow, that reversed itself.
So I was like, okay, so I went and I gave a speech, but while they were telling me about all the sanitary stuff, I was like, you know what, I'm really glad that you're cleaning up the streets, because that street over there, it's like one of those night market streets where it's just like the walls are just caked in oil. You know, one of those places, like a strip of 4 or 5 of them. I'm like, that place.
Yeah, my partner Jay, he kind of gave me the eye now to what to look for.
Yeah,
like, he likes to eat it clean. You can't always tell right away.
Yeah, you can't always tell.
You can kind of check out a few things.
My wife will go to the bathroom and look in the kitchen.
Yep.
At a new place we go eat at, and she'll be like, yeah, I'm not eating here.
She's got the eye.
Yeah. So I'm like, I'm glad you're going to come and clean up the street. And they're just like, oh, no, we're not going there.
We're going to.
And I'm like, this is the government.
Imagine the paperwork.
Yeah, they're like, no, we're not going there. I'm like, well, why not? It's nasty as hell.
Paperwork.
And they're just like,
yeah, you said it's gross.
That place is disgusting. Just don't go there. And I'm like, what? It's crazy.
You imagine all the stamping and paperwork that would be required.
Man, you know what? When we had our stand in Danshui Old Street, and that was our first year.
Oh man, that's a heavy hitter. Right?
It was a rough one. And at like 11, after you clean up, it's literally like waves of rats. Like, we cooked everything at home. We brought everything there, and we served everything there.
I've seen this.
And it's just like
2-3 in the morning. You're like, oh.
And it's not 1 or 2.
And they're not afraid.
No, they're not afraid. They're like, I'm eating. I'm hungry.
Like, you get out of here.
You need to go.
Time. Yeah.
Like, it would be like waves of scurrying rats, like,
yeah.
Scurrying.
It's a bit shocking the first time you see that.
It's crazy.
And then you realize it's just every day. You're like,
and you realize it's just like that. Yeah. So night markets, yeah. And
I asked one of the proprietors, like, don't worry about it.
It's like, The guy that was beside us selling sausage, rats would climb up his stand, take a bite out of his food, and he would still just shoo them away and serve. So
sounds like a paradise for rats.
Yeah, a paradise for rats. Yeah. Mark wouldn't approve.
Mark would be like, what
is this?
He's supposed to be a rat hunting dog. That's supposed to be his job.
Oh, man. And he'd be like, hell,
I have yet to see him in action, but we got a little like SpongeBob toy with little arms and stuff. Okay. Man,
he looks at it, he's like, yeah.
Yeah. He's killed that thing 100 times over.
Exactly. Go get the kibbles and bits, buddy. Yeah.
I thought about that because I'm brewing beer, and I've got malt stored up.
Of course, yeah.
So I'm thinking that if I ever see something, I'm glad Mark's around to hold down
Mark, you better
knock on wood. We don't.
It's time to pay the bills, brother.
But then I started to realize, because I'm allergic to cats.
Are you?
So my first couple years in Taiwan, I was like, I'm in this coffee shop and I'm pretty comfortable. And then I started to see these like balls of fur. And when I'm like, they're just sleeping cats everywhere. And then I started looking in the air. There's like cat. So as an allergic guy, I'm like, whoa, let's get out of here. And then I realized, I'm like, it's probably rat control.
It's possible.
Can appreciate it. Like, all right, maybe the cats are all right.
That's true. Maybe they're not so bad. My daughter's allergic to cats. We just realized this recently. She went to a friend's house to play, and my daughter wants a pet so bad. And she went, and there was a cat. And, I mean, she loves it. So she's like, loving the cat. And when they dropped her off, I come down, I go to pick her up. She's breaking out. Her eyes are swollen. It's just, she looked horrible. I'm like, what happened? They're like, I think your daughter's allergic to cats.
She was probably not feeling great.
She was not. So I picked her up. She put her head out. She went to sleep.
Yeah, it feels a lot like having a cold or something. You don't know what's going on.
It was rough. And it's tough to see because you're like, you can't get mad at anybody. What do? You're just like, okay, my kid's allergic to cats. Yeah, it's rough.
Yeah, no cats in your future in your house.
No cats in the future. Yeah, I like dogs more anyway. Yeah. Dogs are more work.
Yeah,
but
she
more
met
fun.
Mark. I remember.
She loves Mark.
Yeah,
of course. She wants a dog so bad.
Yeah,
she wants
that
a
probably
dog
didn't help.
so bad. No, it doesn't help. Especially a little one that you can, there's not that much work, right?
Yeah, well, there's plenty of them out there needing home.
I'm sure. Yeah. Should we go? Do your thing.
Yeah,
brother?
yeah. Maybe can we take a?
Go do your
break?
thing, brother. Yeah, sure.
Bathroom break.
Take a little bathroom break. I'll just keep talking here. Yeah. Do your thing, brother. Yeah. All right, we're just gonna take a quick bathroom break here, my man. But there's one thing I also wanted to test out here. Bam. So if you guys are enjoying the show, don't forget to subscribe. Give us a thumbs up. It's really a big part of the show for us. If you guys subscribe to channels that you like, YouTube will show them to more people. And if you guys right now are watching on Facebook, on my personal page or any of my business pages, please jump over to www.eddy.live, www.eddy.live, and subscribe to the channel. Give us a thumbs up. It really helps us with the YouTube algorithm. The YouTube will show it to more people, and we get to share more stories like Brian Scanlon's story. I just booked up the next 2 months. We've got lots of really, really fantastic stories coming up for you guys. This is the labor of love for us here at Eddy's Cantina, and thank you guys for support. We appreciate it. Just in case you were wondering, we actually are live at the restaurant right now. Come down any Wednesday at around 7 o'clock, and you will get to check out the show live. Come on, say hi. You're going to love it. Appreciate it, you guys. Thanks so much. All right, back in black. What's up, brother? You good?
Right, yeah, we're good.
Feeling good.
Yeah.
I'll get rid of this for you. Yeah. All right, so let's grab the next one.
Yeah, now I'm looking at that last one. I realize I know that hot sauce, and that's cake.
That's tough.
Yeah.
That's a tough
It'll be
one.
all right, though.
So let's grab the orange one here.
All right.
You need a refill, or what are you doing?
I don't know. I'm good. You good?
So, yeah, I'm good for now. Thank you.
It's actually better warm. Now that it's warmed up.
To be honest, it's very good, man. I'm really enjoying it. I got a little story with that. When I had my Dan Shui restaurant, we used to get this beer from a UK distributor called Abbott Ale, and it was good. It was really good, like a can, it was a nice beer. And we had this, I think it was a British guy. He comes in all the time to eat, and you get an Abbott Ale, and takes you to get out of the fridge. You pour him an Abbott Ale. It's like, it's really good, but you need to serve this in the winter at room temperature. And I'm like,
all right.
Sounds kind of gross, but if you want some,
if you say so,
I'll keep some Abbott Ale for you at room temperature. The guy's like, yeah, cool. So guy doesn't 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Guy doesn't come, I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm seeing this Abbott Ale at room temperature.
Just making sure it's warm enough.
I'm like, it is what it is. It is what it is, right? He comes up. I'm like, all right, brother. I'm like, hey, how you doing, man? You know what? Sit down. You know, I got your enchiladas ready, and I have room temperature Abbott Ale for you.
You must have been touched. Like, hey.
And you know what he said? He said, I'll have a Corona.
Mother.
And I'm like, come again? He's like, I'll have a Corona.
The best customer.
And I'm like, yeah, thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. And I'll never do that again. So I never did. Yeah. So I'm like, hey, you want it warm? Let it sit for a while, you know, like, because who wants it warm? 0.0001% of the people. So it's really tough to serve that.
Yeah.
Market.
Yeah. Jay and I've had a couple run-ins about that. Like, chilled. I guess
your
kind
stout's
of
supposed to be 4
stickler,
degrees
like,
or something.
Okay, some
like,
ale.
what?
I'm like, yeah, let's, you know, we don't need chilled glasses, but he's like, all the customers want chilled glasses. I'm like, all right, like, because I know, you know, the right temperature for certain beers is actually higher than people think, especially even IPAs and stuff.
For sure, yeah.
All that.
Ours is like
going
4
on.
or 5, but we still get some people that are like, it's too warm.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
it's a service. But then again, we go back to that trifecta. The first, number one thing, service.
I'm like, did you have a good time? Yes. Okay, give me. If you can give me a nice review, it'd be fantastic.
Yeah.
So if you have a problem, let me know.
I've kind of come a long way. I'm glad to have Jay as a partner because he's kind of taught me to think.
It's definitely tough.
Think more about the customer side of things.
Yeah. That noise, someone's got an alarm. That must be the kitchen. All right, grab it, man. You winging or you drumming?
You go first. Go for it.
I'll take this guy here. So I'll get the wing on the last one then. Yeah.
I like the look of this sausage.
There you go. Well, enjoy it. I won't say too much about it. Get in there.
Habanero or ghost?
It's a little ghosty, yeah.
What's the difference? Visually,
they're just different. They look the same.
Ghost chili. That's how I was like.
They just kind of have.
It's a tiny habanero.
They look the same. They look almost the same, yeah.
Ooh, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
got some.
Let me see how the zoom is working. Check that camera out. Boom.
Everybody's been waiting to watch me.
Everybody's waiting for the
close
zoom.
Up eating a wing.
That's what people want to see, man. They want to see you eating that wing, man.
Okay, that's a nice one.
It's okay. Yeah, it's not as hot as, but we'll see.
Yeah, I can get the.
I want to shout out to everybody that's watching live. Let's see what we got here. Boom, we got anything. Bam, you got this. All right, well, thank you very much. Great enchilada sauce. Thank you very much. We got Ernie from Don Ernesto commenting. Nice. Oh, shoot, the girl. Okay, yeah, they were just telling us. The guy that was just here earlier was telling his girl. Okay, cool.
She was so excited.
Maybe we'll get his girl on the show.
Yeah.
We'll get the girl on the show, man. If you're watching the show, I'll get you on the show. I'm going to reply to that later, yeah?
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe, everybody. Hold on, where's my subscribe
button? Was really excited.
Yeah.
To see this going on. Yeah. She was like, "Oh my god, that's her dream."
It's awesome, right?
Yeah.
You know what's? I got a great story about that, right? I'd say about a month ago, I was setting all this up. I had this little boy. He's coming in. He's like, "Oh my god, you're YouTubing?" I'm like, "Yeah, man. We got this little. We stream to YouTube and Facebook." And he's just like, "Oh my gosh, and you get subscribers?" And I'm like, "Yeah, man. That's what we do." And I'm like, I'm explaining everything to this kid. And he was like, I'm setting up. And he's not leaving me alone, man. He's asking me all these questions about YouTube. And he's a kid. YouTube and Facebook. And he loves it.
Yeah,
and he's just like, oh my gosh, it's great. And I'm like, yeah, we share our video to Instagram. And we do this and that. And he's loving it. This kid is like loving his family's eating. He just keeps coming back and chatting with me. And, you know, he's playing with equipment. And he's doing everything, right? And this is the kicker. You're going to love this part. The last question he had was like, oh my gosh, well, how many subscribers do you have? And I'm like, well, we just hit 1,000. And he looks at me and he's just like, and he walked away. And he never talked to me again. It was just like, oh, you hurt me bad, kid. We're almost at 2,000 now, but.
Yeah, I saw you got a badge.
We're getting there. Do I have? I don't know.
Well, let's.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna need a refill.
Fill it up.
That one took me there.
It took you there. Good.
Yeah, that one's got some nice.
You need to go. Whew. The wings will swell up. The lips. Oh, he's pouring. He's pouring that beer. Whew. Get in there. Whenever somebody says get in there, do you remember that old Lipton Brisk iced tea commercial with Rocky in it?
Yeah, you really got a good memory.
Oh my gosh, dude, yeah. I watched a lot
You're
of
the
TV
reason
as a
why
kid.
it should be illegal to advertise to kids. Like, think about this is burned in your
You should see
memory.
what's in my memory, dude. It's crazy. I can't remember what I did yesterday, but I remember Lipton Brisk iced tea commercials with Rocky Balboa in it. Ooh, that's a hot one. Oh my god, that one's hot as shit.
Actually, this is by far the best beer you could have with a spicy. In terms of wiping out the...
It's pretty fantastic, man. Last week we had my buddy Matt Bateman on, and he was he said his trick was he brought like these dried plum, these little pieces of dried plum. Oh, there we go. We gotta get a little of that teary-eyedness in there, man.
Oh no, I can't touch the eye. I don't know that much. Oh.
There's only one rule: don't touch your eyeball, man. You're good to go.
That's the end of the podcast right there.
That's the end of the show. We're the show.
It's just gonna get bad.
Yeah, man.
Oh yeah, that one keeps going.
Oh my god, you don't even want to know how much ghost pepper, scorpion pepper is in that. A ridiculous amount.
Well, I can smell it and taste it right away.
You can smell it, yeah.
Because it reminds to me, it's the habanero.
Yeah, it's
distinct.
Similar.
It's like that
it's
distinct
similar.
kind of.
It's similar.
Almost vinegary.
Yeah, for sure. It's similar. We actually bottled these two.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they sell well.
The jalapeno. Oh, let me get a bottle. I'll definitely buy a couple of those.
We actually, I'm a big fan of the show Hot Ones, right? And a buddy of mine just bought me this right here. Some hot sauces from Hot Ones, and before I crack them, I want to rip off the box design so I can sell my hot sauces in there.
Yeah, save that box.
Hell yeah.
That's another thing I've started to notice creative packaging on my. Ooh.
A buddy of mine's got these cinnamon buns. I had him on the show a couple months ago, and he's got fantastic cinnamon buns. And his shout out to Jack Lee, Feed the Wife cinnamon buns.
Feed the wife.
Feed the
Flavor
wife.
the world. Feed the wife.
Flavor the world and feed the wife, right? So, Feed the Wife. It started with this couple they met, and they got they're getting together and they got married and blah blah blah. But obviously, I'm not doing this story justice. But
they got married and
blah blah blah. And then they had an argument, and he told his wife said, "Well, why did you marry me?" And he said, "Well, I married you because you treat me well and blah blah blah." And he goes through a list of stuff that you have to say to your wife when they ask you that question, right? And he's like, "Well, why did you marry me?" And she's like, "I married you for your cinnamon buns." There we go. Oh my gosh, we got a little teary-eyed action there.
It wasn't the story.
It wasn't the story. Yeah. The blah 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 didn't get you? No.
Actually, I leak. Even when I'm not dying, I start to sweat and get.
Okay, well that's
tear
good.
up.
That's good. That's fantastic.
And then when I get the hiccups, and we've reached the.
Let's pull this guy up right here. Boom. What is this about? I didn't even know you guys were home. What is it? Hometown Brewing.
Yeah, that's our first.
So the first line
initial brand
was
yeah.
Hometown Brewing.
Yeah,
right?
that's right. So the Chinese name came first, actually, Xiangyun.
Okay.
Which the characters, 乡下的乡, it's the countryside, the rural.
Thank you. Bye guys. Take care. Thanks so much. Thanks. See you soon. Yeah.
That's the label, actually. I guess it's a little bit.
Sorry, where are we at? Dragon Bowl, right? There we go.
Yeah, the label there is the kind of rooftop view from where I used to live. Well, basically where I live now too.
No, I love that. That's such a cool brewery name, and that was cool. Why'd you guys switch?
Well, we didn't change the Chinese name. We kept that.
Okay,
that was first. So
okay.
the English name kind of just followed it, and sort of a feeling of bringing what I remember from my hometown of Portland, Oregon.
Beautiful. Oh, that's why the Rogue. Okay.
To here.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, shortly thereafter we realized, there's another company. Never registered the name, but their Chinese name phonetically changed to Hometown, so they use that as English. Oh. And they also produce liquor, some Gaoliang. So we just figured we're just starting. we can do a change now.
Yeah, it's hard to
or
change the name.
Or we can possibly
yeah.
have pain later. So
yeah. Okay.
Better to do that at the beginning, and so we just got right to the heart of the whole thing, the Tilted Shack.
That's good to change. Yeah, the Tilted. I like the Tilted Shack. I'll be honest. The homebrew sounds cool, but Tilted Shack is pretty
Somebody
cool.
said, yeah, it's too vanilla, which actually then later I was, yay. And it actually did follow the Chinese. The Chinese name for me actually has some more meaning with the characters.
Sure.
So we kept that. But yeah, the English name is actually more directly tied to our roots. So,
I like that. That's pretty cool, man. I like that.
It'll get you a little tilted if you
That's pretty
hang
cool.
out.
I like that. Yeah. No, it's cool. I like the logo too. You got a designer for that, or you guys there?
Yep. Chris Massad. Shout out there.
Shout out there.
Yeah.
All right.
He also, I think, helped out with Flavor of the World as well.
Okay.
He's
Shout
around,
out to Flavor, man. They're good guy, man. Brian.
Yeah.
Brian
So he's Sauce Brian. I'm Beer Brian. That's how we when we talk.
That's how you roll it, right?
He's like, I like Beer Brian. I'm like, I like Sauce Brian too.
Okay, Sauce Brian. Well, we got some Sauce Brian coming up here in a minute.
Yeah.
Cool off.
Yeah, I know that.
You know that one.
I mean, I'm very conservative, even though I've got it at home. I'm not. Like I said, sometimes I'll go.
Well, the reason was because this one sometimes is just ridiculous hot, and sometimes it comes out less hot. But I've always got this one that's just ridiculous all the time, because there was a few guests that went all the way through, no problem. And I'm like, okay, yeah, it's not that hot, like dying here, and they're like, no problem. So I needed to have an extra. Just a kick. Just a kick. You have to. You gotta sweat. You gotta do it.
I mean,
so that's it. Yeah.
You're live. Yeah.
What do we got? You sweating a little bit right there?
I'll sweat.
You're looking good.
Happily sweat. I mean, even a little spice gets me going. But
beautiful.
When I get the hiccups, then we know.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Somebody else had hiccups too. Yeah.
That's when I know I.
A friend of mine was had on the show here was talking about hiccups too. Yeah. Beauty. Yeah, brother. So what's the plan with the flavor? What's Flavor of the World? What am I talking about? With Tilted Shack, brother. What's the plan for the next 5 year plan? What do you got? What's the plan? What do you want to do?
A lot of things. Well,
a lot of things. Let's go. Taking over the world. World domination.
No.
Aside from world domination, no world domination in the books.
Well, I'm also finishing up my PhD now in geography.
Are you really?
So that's
holy crap.
Funny you will say that, because I do study that.
So you're a smart guy. PhD.
No, well, just a nerd on one thing.
PhD. Wow. Okay.
So that's the next 1 year plan. At least in combination with this. But
when somebody says PhD to me, I think about something else.
Yeah, that was started around the same time actually as the beer thing. So they've been in parallel, kind of driving each other.
That is sense. Wow. Okay. But, that's the top of the top, man. PhD in geography.
Study geopolitics and this kind of world domination stuff. So,
oh my god!
But not something I'm into. It's something I'm into, kind of evaluating. Like, hey, who's writing the scripts? Who's setting the stage?
Oh my gosh! Kind of okay, so what about the whole? I mean, I don't really talk about politics.
And now we can get in.
I don't know much about it.
We're gonna have another couple hours.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
you get a PhD guy talking about this stuff.
Yeah, politics. Okay, I really
go ahead. Shoot me a question.
It's tough because I don't know much about it, man. But what do you think of the whole situation? Who do you think's gonna take the next one? What is it?
What
November
are we talking
4th?
about? Oh, the election.
The election. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think, given all the external events that have beyond.
My question is,
if
do
you
you
take those two candidates out of it, but you just
put
the external stuff on top of it,
yeah,
you got to say the incumbent Trump is
going to win again.
Is facing some pretty tough
competition.
Externalities.
Okay.
You know, he's got the COVID. He's got and he likes to just. I think at the end of the day, it's starting to come clear that he's there's not a lot underneath the talking.
Understand? Okay.
I think I get a sense of that. Obviously, Biden's leading in the polls in most.
Is he? I have no clue.
Yeah,
I don't even
keep
watch
a very. I don't really care. Actually, I teach a class at NTU once a week.
Really?
Oh, I help teach a class. Actually, I help teach a class, and the students, I'm trying to give them my perspective a little bit. We're doing covering the Cold War. And this kind of thing, and growing up there, you know, I'm thinking about that movie. What is it? The one with Charlie Sheen and Patrick Swayze. Where
is it the Platoon? Not Platoon.
No, the one where like Russia dropped. It was made like at the end of the Cold War, but it's like Russia invades the U.S. and this group of kids like takes back the
I know
somehow
what you're talking
defeats
about,
the entire
the
Soviet
entire
Union
and it's
invaders.
Charlie Sheen,
and they
right?
even remade it. I was given
my
this
gosh.
lecture, and I was like, I realized they remade this movie in
didn't even know
2010.
Oh, really?
What is it called? Now I can't even think of what it's called, but it's such a dumb movie.
Okay.
It doesn't matter, but
it's not the one with Robert Downey Jr. blackface.
no. This is in the 1984.
Okay.
They made this movie about Russian is actually invades
What
the
are the
U.S.
movies from that time? Full Metal Jacket, Platoon.
Yeah.
I don't remember, man.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
I mean,
That's
yeah,
what
those
can
are
remember.
that's Oliver Stone.
Okay.
Yeah, those are the war movies
Okay.
at that time. But this movie was so far on the
Saving
other
Private
side.
Ryan is newer, but I like that one. That's a good one. Yeah.
But I was trying to, I was giving this lecture, and they just start asking me hardcore questions about this election and about states specific. Like, what about Wisconsin? I'm like, oh, you guys are, guys are way more up on the U.S. side of that. I was like, man, I've been away for 8 years, guys.
Yeah, I have no clue.
All right, we're studying geography, political geography, sure, and they're asking like.
Wow.
Like cut right to. I mean, those NTU students are.
They're the cream
shout
of
out
the
to
crop,
them, man.
no?
They are.
That's cool.
They're hardcore, and I didn't. Oh, man, well, I turned them on to some sources, to find the good information. It's not CNN, it's not Fox News. We try to get them into the.
What about the Al Jazeera? Somebody was talking about Al Jazeera is
They
pretty
put out
pretty
some
decent.
good stuff.
It's pretty good.
They put out
stuff,
some alright.
yeah.
I had followed them for a while. It's too much. It's all too
Oh
much.
God,
so
yeah. I don't watch any
I
of
get
that
my
stuff,
one
man.
dose
Yeah.
is the PBS NewsHour. It's super
Okay,
boring.
okay.
It's super down to the kind of. It's so boring that then you gotta be like, all right, these guys are actually the last
must know.
news,
Yeah, okay.
the last honest
It's the
news
last
source,
credible news source.
because it's
Okay.
not sensational at all,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it stands in contrast to
It's like
everything
those
else.
Latino ones where the women are like telling the weather and they're stripping.
It's so.
It's
I think
like,
we've reached that point with
yeah.
pretty much all
Yeah,
news.
that's crazy,
Nah,
right? Yeah. Yeah, I don't really watch much. To be honest, I don't watch any TV. I watch movies. I watch the Joe Rogan podcast. I love that. I love Hot
Yeah.
Ones. This show is basically my idea of a combination of the Hot
Yeah,
Ones and the
I'm
Rogan
living it, man.
podcast,
It's well
man.
done, yeah.
I love it. And
Let's get you a refill.
Let's get a
We're
refill.
gonna-
Let's do
yeah.
one more for the road. Yeah, let's take it. Yeah. I feel
Like we can
that'd be
actually
great.
do
Yeah.
what we're talking about here a
Yeah.
little bit,
So basically, this show is a combination of Hot Ones, the Joe Rogan podcast. You know what? When I'm at home doing stuff, I don't even listen to music that much anymore. I just listen to Rogan. I was listening to Rogan and Kanye West recently. That was kind of a crazy one.
I haven't had time to.
Yeah, I listened to the
catch up
first
on
half
that
an
one.
hour. That's kind of that's a little out
I
there.
caught him on David Letterman. He did
Yeah.
David Letterman's.
Yeah.
The next guest needs no
Okay,
introduction.
okay,
Long
okay,
title, but
okay.
David Letterman also kind of is doing a podcast style show. I don't know if you've seen that.
I haven't, but I saw Conan O'Brien
He
doing
did-
something like that. Yeah.
David Letterman's got Dave Chappelle, Robert Downey Jr.,
I was
Kanye.
just gonna say I didn't
got-
get that much into Dave Chappelle until recently. Oh my God, he's the
Dude
best.
is,
Oh, he's so good.
give him a
dude.
shout out. He probably
I
like.
love Dave Chappelle.
But man, he's just
so good.
The brilliance is so
His old
obvious.
like the old Charlie Murphy ones. Oh my God.
I mean, the
those
stuff
are
he did then is
so good.
still funny, but
It's so much funnier than it's so much funnier than new stuff that people put out now.
yeah, it becomes
It's
almost
ridiculous.
passes funny, and you're like, whoa, this guy.
It's just like
It's commentary.
I'll
like,
be on the freaking
society,
toilet
oh,
like howling, and my wife's
Yeah.
like, "What's going on?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm just watching Chappelle."
that's
It's crazy, man.
I don't know if you can
You can't
get much
do that.
better than that.
You can't get better. Like, oh my God.
I think that's what David Letterman told me. He's like,
You can't
and
get
David
better than
Letterman's
Chappelle.
did that stuff for 20 years,
Yeah,
every
no.
night, and he's like, I haven't seen anybody better than you
Chappelle is
at your best. Like, I've never seen anything better.
like Chappelle show was crazy.
And I
man.
just-
Chappelle show, like what? How funny is
when
that?
you got someone in the right time in the
Ridiculous,
right
yeah.
place, that's
so good, yeah.
magic
yeah.
happens.
It's too good. He's just too good,
Yeah.
man. It's just-
I think that's what happened. He was
what
too
do you
good.
describe? How do
He
you
had to be
describe
like,
it?
I'm out. Yeah,
It's
I'm
just
out.
like, what
You
is
remember
what is
that?
this? He's so
50
good.
million?
Yeah,
He
50
just walked-
million, yeah.
I don't think. Have you ever in our lifetime heard anybody walking away from anybody
No,
else?
definitely not. No, definitely not.
So that's a that's a
Crazy.
guy who I would say has
Rogan
some
was
mental
saying-
strength.
Yeah. Rogan was interviewing Kevin Hart once, and he said that Chappelle was just messaged up Kevin Hart, and he's just like, "Hey man, well, what are you doing?" He's like, "I'm just up here, I'm doing a show." And Kevin Hart's like, "I'm doing a show," and Chappelle's like, I'm just driving my trailer around, just stop whenever I need money. I just stop and then I just do a little stand up. People pay. And I was like, he's just like basically does whatever he wants. It's crazy. His stuff is just, it's ridiculous. Even though I've seen it a million times.
Did you ever do some stand-up?
I haven't, but I'd like to try it, man.
It's on my bucket list.
Yeah, it's on
like
my
one of
bucket
those
list.
things that I've got like a little
Like,
notes
me
and
too,
stuff, and I'm
me
like,
too,
oh
yeah.
man. I realized once I started actually thinking about it seriously, I was like, this shit is hard.
Yeah,
Like,
for sure
These
it
guys
is.
get
Yeah,
up there,
It's for
and now
sure
with
hard.
Netflix and stuff, you can't do the same. I think before they could run around the country,
Do the same thing.
same set
Yeah,
for
yeah.
probably 2 years or something.
Yeah. Now you can't
Now
do
it's
that
like,
anymore.
okay,
Yeah.
you're done. You did it
No.
once, you're done.
Well, 23 Music. Shout out to 23. 23.
Yeah, shout out to Matt, man. He
Shout out
helped
to
me out
Matt,
in the
23,
beginning.
yeah.
He
Shout out to
turned me
Matt.
on to some
Shout out to Matt.
stuff. I think I filled up this CO2 tank at the
With
same
Matt?
place he recommended
Beautiful.
originally many years ago.
Yeah, shout out to Matt. I mean, so they got the 23 comedy club. I was gonna say music room, comedy club.
Yep.
And yeah, I'm gonna go. I want to do it. Let's go do it. We'll go do it together, man. We'll do a sometime.
Yeah.
Sometime.
Yeah.
Maybe Chinese New Year or
Just
something.
Kick it
you
out
know,
a little bit.
We'll do it. I got next month. I got a
What do
comedian.
we need? Like a solid 15, right?
I don't know. I think it's 5 only, man.
Okay,
Open
well-
mic. 5 is okay.
Oh,
Just keep going.
There's the man himself.
There you go. Oh, hey,
man
all
and
right,
the-
all right. Let's get. You want to grab that last wing? Get that sucker
Yeah,
in there.
sure.
And we say hi to Mark.
I think
Shout
we
out
get
to
Mark on the show. It's
yeah.
probably a good thing.
Let's eat the last wing, and then
All right.
you can bring Mark onto
Yeah,
the
I
show.
don't distract from my.
Yeah, little
my
Markage
dying-
here. Yeah. So you're on the drum, I believe, right?
All right.
Get on that, brother. Yeah. The little drummer boy right here. Yeah. Oh, this one's got.
Oh,
more.
I feel bad, man. You want me to scoop up some of that?
Hell yeah, I
sauce?
do.
Get some of that.
I ain't gonna
Share
lie.
the pain.
I ain't gonna lie. Shout out to Flavor of the World, Brian Hopkins.
Sauce Brian.
The suicide sauce.
Yep.
That's the suicide, huh? Mark just walked in the building. Fantastic
Mark
dog.
is in the house.
Mark?
Just looking at the menu. It's like,
Yeah,
all
he's
right.
like, what is this?
I know what's going on.
You know what I need. Ooh, that stout is nice, though. Man.
Yeah, so how's this stout treating you? So
I
we
love
did
it.
this for you, man. This is the.
I appreciate
what
them.
style you like?
This is what I like, man. I appreciate it so much. It's delicious. Yeah, I don't know
Like
what
I
to
said,
say
it's a
about it.
bit
It's
young.
delicious. Yeah,
It's a
no,
bit young, but I think it's. I'm happy with it.
But I was saying that, yeah, back to the Guinness. You know, now when I go back to Guinness, like if I go to like a regular bar, and it's like Taiwan beer, Heineken, whatever, Blue Girl, Guinness. I'm like, okay,
yeah.
give me the Guinness.
Yeah.
Give me the Guinness.
It's lovely.
Yeah, I enjoy it. But it's just the game has changed a little bit. You know, people talking about
Your game has changed.
Same recipe
Yeah,
since
you got
8
into the game, and then
Yeah.
So your game has changed.
I believe worldwide.
Guinness's game has not changed.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, it's like same recipe since 1846 or something.
Actually, I researched their like archived recipes before
Yeah.
I ever did a stout.
Really, yeah. And I think it's good, but I think things need to evolve a little bit sometimes. And I'm all about the evolution. It's pretty delicious. Yeah. I'll have more horchata. Yeah, we're almost done. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, I'm good. I might dip into that horchata after this
Hell
one.
yeah. Just give it a stir because
I like horchata, man.
Yeah, horchata.
Like
man.
I don't get that a lot. So
Yeah, well, I get it every day, so I try not to. I'm trying to make the move to a little bit of a less. You know, I eat reasonably well, but I also love milk chocolate and just chocolate everything. So, yeah, I eat a lot of chocolate. I need to.
oh yeah,
I need to get
it
it
for you, man.
I need to get a higher
There
quality.
was actually
Yeah,
one unique ingredient in here,
yeah.
which I never brewed with before. It was chocolate rye.
Oh my
So
gosh.
I brew with rye. I like
Okay.
rye a lot.
Yeah.
And there's no
Like when it's rye, is it actual just like the wheat, or is it like the bread, or
no,
like,
it's
what is
malted
it?
rye. So
Okay.
it's the grain.
Okay.
So we're dealing. Usually, barley is the common
Okay. Sure.
basic malt.
Yep.
So all malt means is they germinate the seed.
The wheat seed.
Yeah.
Kinda deal,
Whether
okay.
it's wheat, barley, rye, these are all different
Okay.
in the same family, but they're different plants.
Okay.
So what they do is they put it under the perfect conditions to
Okay.
just have that seed pop,
Okay.
you know,
Okay.
and it started to germinate.
Okay.
and then they stop the process. And if they want darker malts, then they put it in the oven a little bit. Kill them.
Okay.
But rye and wheat and barley are completely different species.
Okay.
So the rye.
It sounds good.
I'm not drinking this now because I just want to keep drinking. I'm drinking because that shit's hot.
Shout out to Brian Hopkins, man. I'm good. I'm not gonna whip that whole thing down.
House, but this is that was a hot one.
That's tough, right? Suicide. It's not really suicide until the next morning.
So far so good for me in my life.
Good,
I can. I seem to have
you got the iron gut.
Blessed with an iron gut. Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
I don't know everything in there. Is also so thankful for me doing this, but
you're young. You're young. How old are you now, man? Early 30s, you said, right?
Not early 30s anymore. Just turned 35.
Still early 30s. That's good. That's
mid-30s.
Mid-30s.
Officially.
Damn. All right.
Ooh, that was hot.
It's a tough one, eh? You'll zoom on that, baby.
It will.
Yeah.
Zoom, yeah.
Zoom you in. Let's go.
Ooh. Hey, you got me.
Yeah. Cheers, brother. Hey, man, this is great beer, man. This is great beer. So, last question.
All right.
What advice would you give to others wanting to start the same business, start on the same path as you?
That's a good question.
Well, I have to come up with at least one in 2 hours. Jeez. Yeah. Just don't set your eyes. That's all I'm asking.
Don't have to worry about me. Okay. Like I said, I've got trauma.
Your mom taught you that
trauma
one.
there.
Okay.
First of all, I would say do it more. Like do it.
Practice more.
Yeah, do it more. Not because to get better at it, but to make sure you love it.
Yeah, because it's too late after.
Yeah. Once you make that jump.
Yeah, it's a tough jump, man.
Which thankfully for me, like I said, I feel like I have the best job in the world.
Yeah.
Like sit down and
sure.
look at a blank page and be like, all right, what are we going to brew today?
That's like art. Yeah.
And you start drawing up the malts and everything. I mean, a lot. This one has the most malts by far.
It's pretty darn good, man. I like it. It's
okay.
That.
I mean, it's
delicious. I like it.
A little bit of aging and other stuff. It's better, but that's a special thing to be able to create something from nothing. I can't draw. I can't paint. I can play music a little bit, but
drop an old school beat right now. No,
right? No, exactly. Yeah. Not in front of people.
Yeah. Sure.
But this one, when I did it, and I can still remember the first time I tried a beer.
Oh God!
Probably about the same age I was when I tried that McDonald's cheeseburger,
awful,
so maybe 3.
Yeah.
And I remember where I was and what beer it was and what I was eating. I remember everything.
Okay.
But I must have been about 3.
3? Okay.
Yeah, 3 or 4. So, no, it was just a sip. This okay, taste it.
Okay, yeah, you taste
happened?
like the...
But I remember, I told
Did you
immediately,
like it? That's not bad.
This tastes like rotten tree branches.
Okay.
And she kind of looked at me like, huh.
She's like, yeah,
I wasn't
it kind of
so
does.
smart. That's what it is.
It's kind of like,
as a kid, you don't know, but you taste something and you're honest. That's pretty much. I think fermentation.
And your mom takes a swig and she's like,
fermentation and rotting are just
same thing.
Fermentation is a fancy word for
it's a pretty word.
Rotting. Yeah. So, and tree branches, wheat. I mean, wheat seeds. It's about what it was.
Sure.
Obviously, it's an acquired taste. That was a Full Sail Amber Ale from Hood River, Oregon. I remember that.
Okay. And those, Oregon's got the good stuff too, right?
And I was at a pizza place. Hey, I never really reflected on this. It all started at a pizza.
There you go.
I didn't actually make the connection.
So from
called
3
Merchant
years
of
old.
Venice. A pizza place called Merchant of Venice.
So from 3 years old, you started on your path.
And a beer at a pizza place.
Brewery.
Wow. I never actually closed that loop until just now, to be honest.
Well, there you go.
Wow.
We're making
I knew
history
where it was,
here.
what I did, but I never quite
We're making
closed
history.
the loop.
History at Eddy's Cantina. You're out. Well, go for it.
Oh, spicy, man. I drink because it's spicy. So
yeah, that's killer. Yeah, those are killers. The last couple.
But yeah, I think looking back and then.
So the advice for somebody that's like, I'm taking notes. Brian Scanlon's where I want to be. He's doing his brewing. He's got the food. He's got the brew. They're expanding, selling beer. Advice.
Do it more. Whatever you want to do every day for the rest of your life. do it more before you make the leap to make sure you really love it.
Okay.
To make sure that's what you want to do.
It's hard to monetize a hobby. Right? Yeah. It hurts it a little bit unless you love the shit out of it.
Which thankfully I've learned that I even love it more now because I can share it with more people, you know.
Okay, so from this guy right now, if you're going to go for it, if you're going to monetize your hobby, make sure you
do it
really
until
love it.
Yeah, keep, you know, it's not necessarily just to hone the craft, but do it to make sure you really love it.
Okay. Because you're doing it for a while. Okay.
Surround yourself with people who are smarter and better than you.
Yes, that's always good advice.
I mean,
you don't ever want to.
The end game of that doesn't make sense because, like, then you know who's that. You know, but in terms of a general thing, always try to
don't be the smartest guy in the room all the time. Right, because you know.
And there's different ways of being intelligent, right?
Sure,
different skills.
Course.
So you need to balance it, but
always
always have the feeling that you're actually dealing with somebody that's better than you at some respect.
Something. Okay.
Yeah. I think that's something I've been very grateful for.
That's very important, I believe, also because I
hit
think,
above your weight, I guess.
Punch up.
Yeah,
right?
punch up.
Yeah, punch up.
To put it in a two.
That's the next IPA. That's your next IPA name.
Can I steal it?
Punch Up, yeah.
I'll credit you on the label
punch
somehow.
Up.
Be like,
Punch Up IPA.
We'll
Coming soon.
Like, you're gonna
Punch
use
Up IPA.
your chinning on the
there you go, man.
Signature.
Punch Up IPA.
But that's true. I mean,
that's true,
I think that is those two things, and you'll be happy and you'll be successful.
I agree. I think.
Other than that,
I'm looking at your wife and I'm thinking about this story of she's just like, okay, I give you the chips. Go away.
Let's get Mark over here.
You want to bring Mark?
Should I grab him?
Yeah, grab Mark. Yeah.
We talked about him already.
Yeah, let's grab Mark. Yeah, bring Mark. So we want to thank you guys for watching the show. Before we close it out, we're going to give you guys a little glimpse of Mark, the famous Mark. You know, when I met this guy, I said, what's your dog's name? You know, he's just a little cute little dog. I was expecting it to be Fluffy or Poofy or whatever. And it's Mark. And this is Mark right here.
Mark the dog.
Mark the dog. There he is. Oh, shoot. He's smelling my hands and he's like, hell no. Keep those spicy hands away from me. Have a little, he's just like, woo. We got that. I can only maybe a little zoom on there. A little Mark action right there.
Got a little chili.
He's just like, woo. Did he get some chili on there, man?
He went
That's on you, dude.
He's actually very picky. He doesn't usually.
You know what, Mark? I got news for your dog. You need to smell it before you get the chili in your mouth.
That's the sad thing. His nose doesn't work.
His nose doesn't work.
Like it works well, but
oh, really?
He's always busy, but it doesn't really work
Mark.
too well.
You're a good guy.
Yeah, this is Mark.
What a good looking fella right there.
I think he's very photogenic, actually.
Oh, he's a good looking dog, man, for sure. There he is.
Much more photogenic than I am.
I gotta be honest.
You could have done a whole podcast with just Mark, probably.
We actually, we're making history. Mark is the first dog to be on this podcast. So, what's up, brother? How you doing, Mark? He's just like,
He's like, where's the food?
Get on with it.
Where's the food? Yeah, he won't make.
He's like, I'm still looking for the other smart people in the room. Yeah.
He's a good dog.
Yeah.
I tell you.
But I want to thank you guys all for watching the show. Appreciate it. And I want to especially thank my man, Brian Scanlon. If you guys want to try his beer, come to Eddy's Cantina. Come down to the Shack in Xindian. The links for Tilted Shack Brewing, for the Shack Pizzeria, the links are in the description. Go down to Xindian. Check them out. You're going to love it. Good food, fantastic booze.
Try all the beer.
Try everything.
Get a pizza.
Try it all. We love it. Thanks so much for coming, man.
Cheers, man.
Appreciate it. See you guys next week. Bye.